and good evening. I don't think we've got our normal introduction, have we? No.
Doesn't sound
How
like
weird.
it.
No. Oh, well, sod that.
You got your
I'm
wish. You
very,
asked for this a while
yeah,
back.
yeah, that's it. Well, that's it. By the way, I'm very sorry, Paul. I had to cut you off mid-conversation because I realised we're going live. So
No,
please,
no worries.
please accept my apology. It was most rude of me.
Don't
Um,
worry.
but welcome everybody. And tonight on the show, we may be getting Donald on a little bit later. He said he will try and join us. We may even get that's Donald Jeffries of America Unplugged, and we may even get Patrick on as well. But tonight, beforehand, we've got Anorak or Paul and myself. So there we go. So good evening, Paul, and welcome to the
Good evening,
show.
Chris. Good evening, all.
And our first person in was Arsburgers as Fudge. Here he is. Good evening. And that is bloody keen. That is almost caught. Was it 1943? So there we go. He's
What, the
been waiting
year or
since,
the time?
yeah, since that time. He's been waiting all these years to come on a show. Isn't that amazing? And he's getting on a bit though. And he says he would like a two-finger salute. Here we go. A two-finger salute for the Pro Fit Mohammed, please.
Yeah. I get it now.
Pro Fit.
Profit.
Oh, I get it now. The penny's dropped. So, oh dear, there might be a fart war after me, and you never know. So, or, and you've got one as well, haven't you? For what was it
So,
now?
all the fearmongers out there. Yeah.
Yep. There we go. That's lovely. And someone in Telegram, I don't know who, has someone's been messing around, and they got me as a pharaoh with the gear and everything, in the glasses. So if you're on
Yeah, right.
Telegram, yeah, I'll put down fair enough. And I want my mummy.
I think they've got you mixed up with someone else, haven't they?
Oh, I think they have actually, but I don't think the pharaoh wore
Sphinx.
glasses. See, oh dear. This is But EJ Beto said better not draw any cartoons on him. And oh, hang on, we got Pink Planet. Hi, Eric. Can Matilda talk about seeing the angel, please, if she wants to? Certainly she can. Yes. Now, Matilda, seeing the angel. Why not? Does Matilda want a studio link so she can come live on air? So please say if she wants one, and I will provide. Or if you want to come on, I don't mind. It's an open mic evening. And say Donald Jeffries may be on, and also Patrick may be on from America. So there we go. But
Who is this, Mike? Are we? Is it a scalpel job?
what's that?
We say it's an
Hmm?
open mic job.
Oh
Open
bloody
mic
hell!
night.
Yeah, and yes, yes, it's a frontal lobotomy tonight. You know.
I'll tell you his last name's not. I'll tell you his last name's not Hunt.
Well, the Pharaoh picture was done by David Exo. Was he? Right. I'm going to be up to bleeding Yorkshire next week. Then say, oi. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah. So there we are. He was bleeding good, wasn't he? He's pretty good. Hang on a minute. You just give me a clue. I wonder if that's the bugger that's did me with the old Buffon hairstyle.
He's in
Yes.
chat if it is the case.
Yes. Oi, Exo, it was you, wasn't it? No operating dodgy pyramid schemes, Eric. Ah, so you're the bugger that did it. It's a bit. Hang on, I wonder if I could actually put it on the screen. Yeah, I think I can't see any reason why I can't. That's right. Bear with me, boys and girls. Can you talk about your trains for a minute, mate? Because I'm just fiddling around with my knobs and dials.
You know, I question everything about everything.
Yeah. What is it? Yes. Never
You know, I question
underestimate
everything
an
on
ego
everything
of a
these days.
politician.
Do you not think that
Yeah.
the background looks like a compost pile? And I know it's a volcano
It
in a
does
large
actually.
scale. That's exactly what it is, and it's which is what a
Well, it
compost
could
pile
be,
does.
couldn't it? Yes, and I'm getting fed up with that advert. What
Oh,
is it?
about compost,
Something
yeah.
compost? Yeah, buy my compost or whatever it is. I'm finding everything but here. Where is it? It should be here somewhere. Oh, I know where he put it. He put it here, didn't he? Right. Now let's have a quick shufty here. It might be here. It might not be here. You never know.
Ex-
It's going back a
Exo's
bit.
pointing it towards Paulie.
Paul English. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Paul English has got it on there. Thanks, mate. Yes, let's have a look. So yeah, right. I got it on there
Very
now.
good,
Let's
DJ.
let's let's see if I can. Thanks, mate. Thanks for that. Um, uh, oh, by the way, Pink Planet asked you a question, Paul. Do you have a model railway at home?
I do indeed. It's
Oh,
ever growing, never ending. It's a it's a task that model railway is never ever completed.
yes.
They are good
Ah,
fun. Gets you away from the screen. It gets me away from the screen for a while, and yeah, it's good.
yes. See, now let's have a look. Have I got my Pharaoh there? Oh, hang on. I bet there it is.
I
Come
can
on.
see a
Let's see.
pharaoh or something on there.
There it is. There's the Pharaoh. I don't. Yes, it looks as if got a sort of look. It looks as if someone's prodded me in the chin by a telescope, doesn't it? It's, like, it's bloody brilliant though. Whoever did it. Uh, uh, and oh, hang on, the Buffon one was Mark Antony. That's who it is. But that is, and the Buffon one's bloody brilliant as well. I'm trying to find that one. That'll be on. Oh, that'll be on Food for Thought Radio. But yeah, I mean,
That
that
is
that's
pretty
just making
impressive.
ages. That is
Was
impressive, isn't it?
was that through a bit of Photoshop then?
I don't know. Is it Exo did it? And Arsberger's Fudge says, "Love a model railway." So there we go.
They are good fun. They're hard work. They take
Yes.
a lot of looking after, and it's an expensive hobby. Let's say, especially the locos. The locos are really expensive to buy, but
Yes.
it's a way
That's
of
in.
getting having an hour or so away from the screens, and it's just great. And you can go back and step back
Sounds
in
it.
back 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and bring back British Rail as it was. Yeah, it's good.
I used to work with a bloke who used to go to Switzerland and buy trains from Switzerland with N gauge, little tiny ones.
I used
And
to
he
have an
said,
engage
so
layout years ago.
yeah, and it was really sort of bloody cost a lot of money. They do, and they're very powerful. The ones from Switzerland, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the
Hmm.
American, I went to a, see, the when you go to model railway shows, so I'm going to do a quick promotion here then. The
Yeah.
Great Electric Train Show in Milton Keynes is on the 10th and 11th of October this year. Always worthy of a look. But
Hmm.
there's a couple of bits we've had. There was an American one that we had. I can't remember that was. Might have been the Stafford one. And the British ones always never seem to work quite as well as they could. But you get a European or American one, and they work perfectly. And this chap had got this layout in whichever show it was, and he got like something like 60 odd wagons behind this locomotive, and it pulled them, no problem at all, no wagons derailing or. But you get to a British one, and that's it. And the other one we had, there was a Chinese guy, there was a Chinese layout which was based
Hmm.
in Beijing, and it was to do with getting close towards the end of steam in China, because China was one of the last places to still operate steam. And this layout was absolutely brilliant, absolutely amazing thing. Even down to the detail that he got a little mini cab, and this little guy would step out of the mini cab, take a picture of the locomotive, and get back in it.
Marvelous. So the Chinese are
Yeah.
into that as well. But did you hear
Oh
about
God,
that?
God, yeah.
There was a pigeon a Chinese bloke found, and he looked on it, and it came from somewhere, Surrey or somewhere. I don't know, somewhere in this country. And of course, apparently, all the symbols on on racing pigeons are international. So he read
All
where
right.
it was from, and the Chinese Airways flew it but home as a sort of a goodwill gesture.
All right.
Gesture.
Was it put in a pot and cooked then?
No, no. I've got a pigeon there. Oh, bleeding rings bit. Oh, that could have been like the silver threepenny bit in a Christmas pudding, couldn't it? But
Chicken served?
anyway.
Yes, please. Well, this might not contain chicken, but it's close enough. It flew here.
Well, there's my booth on air style, and that was done by Mark Anthony. Can you see it?
From a
Anybody?
distance, you look like John Travolta.
Yeah, John River. That must have taken him ages to do. That's all. Hi, folks. Hi.
You weren't in Face Off or anything like that, or Pelham 123, were you?
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, I mean, someone's going to look a little bit, hello, Ducky, on that one, didn't I?
Actually, I don't know how this is an offence. You could even be a bit of Bob Holness there.
Yes. So
Can I have
I'll
a
have a
pee, please,
bebob.
Bob?
Can I have a pee? Yes. Yes, it's rather nice. Yes. Anyway, so there we go. Let's see where we go. Here we are. Right, and we go back to where we were. So we got here. Now, DJ B2 says built-in computers are now a lot more expensive. Early in 2025, what you could build for £1,400 now costs over double. Yeah, I used to build my own computers. Have you ever done that? Built your own?
No, I'm not. I'm not that techie on that stuff. I must be honest.
Hmm.
But you can't get a. I've been trying to get another external hard drive because obviously I've taken a lot of photographs and I keep my photographs on in RAW format, so they're big files. And I can't. I've got 3 hard drives here, external hard drives, and they're
Mhm.
pretty much full. And I'm trying to get another
Oh,
one to start. You can't get them for love nor money. I'm sure it's to do with these data centers they're building everywhere. They've taken all the.
really?
Yeah, you can't get them for love nor money. I've been trying to get another one.
You can get, which I did the other week. I got, say, a week, a couple of months back. I got SSDs, solid state drive, and you can get second-hand ones of those that have been professionally taken all the, sort of, I don't know, donkey
Porn off.
porn off, yeah, all the donkey porn off and stuff like that, and and yeah, it's quite they're quite good, and I use them instead of the sticks, the memory sticks, because I'm a cheap. Well, let's put it this way: I'm a tight-fisted git. You see, that's why I save money and things like that. But now, Tink Planet, she's into your trains, and she says, "Do the trains run on time or your railway?" Laugh out loud. Do you have buses, etc., too, and a town? Is it based on a town? Do you have a street? Do you have steam trains? No, you always walks like that.
Yeah. So let me try and answer that in the best way I can.
Yeah.
Mine's changed many times. So the one I've got at the moment seems to follow
Mhm.
Scottish theme, or
Yeah.
it did for a period of time. And I have got a little tiny town on there, but it's 13 feet by about 6, so there's not a lot of space really. It
Hmm.
takes up most of my living room, to be fair. I do have buses. I've got a few. I've got about 30 odd models there. They're all mostly West Midlands
Hmm.
vehicles that I remember. The town itself, yeah, that's one of the fun bits about it. One of the things I do enjoy about it is actually making the town look like a town. But then I get to a point where I
Well,
get a
that's
bit
great.
bored of it, and then I change it to something else. But at the moment, I'm enjoying this. I like a bit of not just running the trains, but also doing a bit of shunting, doing a bit of taking a wagon off here and there, working out how to get it into a specific order and that sort of simple
Hmm.
things, but it keeps the
Oh, it
mind
takes
busy.
your mind away from things, and also, I
Yeah,
mean, my little model railway that I had, my town was based on it's perpetually in the mid 50s. So I had a little Morris 1000, a little Model of One, and things like that. That's when I was a kid, and but I couldn't. My parents couldn't afford Hornby, so I had a Triang one,
Triang, yeah,
which
yeah.
was Triang, yeah. But I had Airfix. I bought Airfix. Used to buy. I don't think. Can you still get Airfix models of houses from the 1940s? So I had little
These
houses
days
there.
you get them there. what's it called? And like castings there. I've got some on my later. I can't know what they're called, but they're like plaster type things, but they're already pre-painted, etc. And it's
Oh, that's
and they're all
interesting.
decorated up. I do quite a lot with it. Like I said, I do. I
Oh,
popped into a place in Shrewsbury called Warhammer. I was asking,
mm,
just inquiring to see if they did some spray paints. Cause I've been doing some sort of concretey areas, if you like. So I've been going out and spraying them and then getting high
yeah,
on the paint fumes while I've been sat here. And they
my bad.
when I went to Warhammer, they do little pots with paint, but with sand in. And I said to myself, what we need is one that's got like concrete colour in that where the concrete
Mm,
started to crack. And the amount of detail you can. There was a chap called Everard Junction who had a layout based around Slough
mm.
area, that sort of part of the world,
Is that his
and the
real name,
detailing was
Everard Junction?
yeah, it was that was his YouTube channel. He's still out there somewhere, and
Oh, you would take a
the
picture of it.
detailing was the detailing was down to such extent that he got pigeons sat on
Mm.
top of a canopy and eating some seed. And that's because with
Wow.
3D printing, I don't have a 3D printer, but like
Mm,
for example, Pete Waterman, I know he's pretty well known for his this making tracks. And
mm.
there's a chap who on his layout called Phil Martin, I think, or Phil something with anyway, and he does 3D printing. And if you have a look at the layout that Pete Waterman's got, they've done Watford Junction to Milton Keynes, and at Watford Junction you've got some new flats above the station. And Phil actually did a 3D print of that, and it took him like months to build these flats up. But with 3D printing, it's so easy. It's just literally you get the size of the
Really.
building, and away you go. Job done. It's
It's interesting. I
yeah.
mean, if you take a picture of your one, yeah, well, and show it on here and pick up. Oh, hello. Can I book a ticket,
I'll do some
please?
pictures and
Yeah,
I'll put
be
some on here.
interested
Yeah,
because I
because
had a because I used to make Airfix models, but they were 1:72, I think, which is the same as HO, isn't it? Like 1:72
yes,
scale.
yeah.
Yeah, because I had a RF airfield next to my train set, which unfortunately had to be on my mum's carpet, and I had a sort of Spitfire there, made by Airfix.
Well, we went I
Well, made by me, but from Airfix.
popped
Yeah,
into Chester Model Centre on Saturday, and again they do everything, not just model
yeah.
railways, but planes and buses and cars, the lot, and even some of the cars, some of the like the detail on the Cortinas and proper cars. There's I mean, because to be honest, you can spend an absolute fortune on them
Oh,
if it came
yeah.
to it.
Is Beatties of Holborn still there? Because Beatties was the place to go to
I
in
think
Holborn.
BTs were taken over by House of Fraser, who've since gone under somebody else.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, that was a model maker's dream. But there used to be a place in
It,
Hertford that sold stuff. What was it called now? Hobbycraft or something?
oh,
Well,
Hobbycraft,
they've gone.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
They
still
come,
around.
they still about.
Mm,
They get a lot of my expense sometimes, and that's where I get my card from and spray paints and stuff. The only thing
mm,
I haven't done on any of my layouts is ballasting, because it's it's a task that I need to do because it makes the railway look more realistic. But it's a pain in the arse when it comes to the electronics. So all the wiring I've
mm.
done myself, I've learnt that from other enthusiasts and so on and so forth. But you get to a point where the wiring becomes quite easy. But
Yeah.
once you put the ballast down and then you glue the ballast to the track, or not to the track, but under the sleepers, as it were. That can then interfere with the electrical side of things. And if something goes wrong, it's an absolute pain in the arse to sort back out. So
We must
I've
be.
chickened out of that for now.
But I've got a Mammoth steam engine, which you can actually does work.
Oh
You
well,
put water in it, and you put like, and you have these little blocks that you catch light to. You put them in, and it goes. But the government banned the blocks, so so
sounds
how I
about
get
right.
steam now, I don't know, because
Well,
they reckon that
Hornby
something.
do
Yeah.
live steam on some of theirs where it's done. Again, I don't know how it works, but I think it's there's some. I can't remember what it is, but there's something within the locomotives. I mean, they're expensive,
Mm.
where you actually get proper steam, but
Oh,
it's not
you
really
get some proper
authentic in that
steam. Yeah.
respect.
Oh, you get
And
put water in it.
modern,
And it
if you go DCC, mine's an analog because I prefer that
mm,
because I know you can't crash the trains then. But a lot of the modern layouts are what they call DCC. So DCC is you can use your phone, you can use a tablet, that sort of thing. So you give each of the locomotives a number, and you drive the actual train. Whereas with the old analog stuff, you're driving the rails. Really, you're changing
mm,
the power through the rails to make the trains go faster or slower. But with DCC, they've now got to the point where the locomotives actually have sound in them, so they have a little speaker inside. And sometimes that's
that's
quite
good.
nice, and especially if you've got like a depot scene where you've got locos ticking over,
Mm,
that sounds pretty good. But when you've got them just running
mm.
around, they're just annoying.
Is Scale Electric still going, or has that died a death now?
No, I
Because
think it is. So they come under the
yeah.
Hornby brand, or they may.
Ah,
I think Hornby may have just sold them on. But yeah,
bet
Scale
they're made in
Electrics are still
China
there.
now. Now, DJ B2 said that picture of Chris or Eric, me, with the bouffant hairstyle says makes me think it's all for charity, mate. You know, it's all for charity. Now, Hereditous Getfolk says models and railways love them. Yeah, I used to like them until I discovered females, and then suddenly I sort of was distracted.
You didn't go home and say, "Can I show you my locomotive then?"
Or no, I'd say I'd like to do some shunting tonight. All on a railway, of
Yeah.
course.
Can I shunt my wagon into your tunnel?
Some cheeky sod said I look more like Rolf Harris. Really? Well, I'll come over and kick you in the didgeridoo in that case.
I didn't see any lightness there. I have to say.
and no, I couldn't see it. You know, the only man that could make a living out of breathing heavy. That's all he did. And his act never changed. Do you know? It's from the
Yeah,
1960s onwards. It never changed. It was the same shit. And
I still think he was a
yeah,
scapegoat. I really do.
it probably was. Yeah, he may have been. I don't know much about his court case, but it seemed a bit weak. The evidence that was said. I don't know. Who knows? It's one of those things, you know. But well, he's long gone now, isn't he? I mean,
He has.
he's pushing the grass up now.
He's
Uh,
playing with God's didgeridoo now.
oh,
Not
but
tonight.
what I could, but my brother-in-law, who I don't get on with, said something once that really made me think. I said, "Why is it that people from very nice countries, like you look at Australia, sunshine, beautiful place, why do they come and live here?" And he said, "They're running away from something." Makes you think that
Yeah, it's a
they're
fair
running
chance.
away. And I mean, I work with a bloke who sold, you know, these stilt houses that they got on the outskirts of Sydney, where you look out over the sea. It's idyllic.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and you just sit and you look out over the sea. It's got all uh, coconuts and palm trees. Absolutely idyllic. Him and his Sheila sold it to buy a two-bedroom flat in Earls Court. And we said, have you had a history of mental illness?
But then I
It's
do wonder though, those buildings are on stilts. What
yeah,
happens if you get a storm and you
don't
get
know.
perhaps like a storm surge with it? What happens? Then you sort of wake up and find yourself floating in the I don't know, off the coast of America
Yeah.
or something like that.
I don't know if they get termites in. I think they do get termites in Australia. Big problem with Australia is you are part of the food chain of animals.
Yes.
You walk along a beach, you can get eaten or stung by something. Walk into the bush, you get a bleeding snake bite you. It's not a very friendly country. It's not
Well,
very animal friendly.
you can't even take a dump without having to check what's there first.
Well, that's right. Go to the Danny, you know, and you get stung. Can you imagine, going to the hospital? What's wrong? A spider's bit me on the, yes. Very nice. But now, DJ B2's going back to hard disk, says 5 gigabytes external HD is around £160. Bloody hell, that's a few
Ooh.
bomb, isn't it?
Do you know where from though?
Yeah.
Because I really could do with another one. like I do with the new one.
Hmm. That's interesting, isn't it? Have you tried eBay? I'm an eBay
I'll have a
fanatic.
look and see. I've been searching places like Western
Yeah.
Digital,
Oh,
Western Digital.
by the way, Argos will have some. So you go
Oh,
Argos.
okay. I'll have to go and have
They're
a look at them.
very. I've actually found that the Argos are very competitive with eBay, and sometimes they're cheaper. Big plug. Argos, could you send me a few bob, please, for saying that? So there we go.
Hey,
Um,
hey, well, they could probably send you some pencils because
yeah.
I reckon that's where they because didn't I thought Argos didn't they sell out to Sainsbury's at one point, or they were part of the Sainsbury's group?
Uh,
Is it
don't know
because
because
everyone was walking out with the pens that they used to? Because you go in there and you'd pick
that's
the
right.
pen out, write what you wanted, and then you'd walk out with a pen, wouldn't you? Let's be honest.
So IKEA, yeah, I've got loads of IKEA pencils because I'd forget myself. I'm not really a pen thief. I just sort of you forget yourself. You normally put it in your
You're
top
not
pocket.
a pen thief, but there's 20 in your pocket.
That's right. Yes, and of course I got my secret weapon. Dun dun dum. Was it my Sharpie, which is my secret weapon? Now, Exo's got a question for you. How much is a ticket from Ludlow to Telford? I don't know.
I can tell you that a day return from Telford to Craven Arms is about 18 quid. So add a bit more onto that,
Hmm.
about 25, I'd guess.
Hmm. Now, that's interesting. Alice Gorgeous says shunting, eh? That's what he said. Sorry, Paul.
Absolutely. Do you want to play with my shunter?
Now, what's this? Heterodotus Getfoot said, only 1 yard, so cheap. What is 1 yard and so cheap? I don't know. Let's go look back on the questions. What is 1 yard? No, can't see it. No, no. I don't know what's 1 yard and so cheap. So there we go. Uh, now, Pink Planet says, sounds great, Paul. Have you been to Model Railway Club, Eric, near us? Nope, because I'm not really into model railways now. But there was a model railway around the back of where I lived. And soon after I moved in, vandals smashed it all up and it was no more. And it was apparently this
Sad,
little
isn't it?
railway that used to go around the park and children used to get on free of charge and travel around the park. It's a little small park, and they just smashed the whole place up. And the railway went into a hut and they burnt it down. Whether it was
It's
good,
sad, isn't
whether
it,
it
that
was
people
as
have to behave
hmm,
like that in the first place? I don't
or could it have
understand
been
why.
council paid for by idols?
Well, that's something I've wondered a lot, not just necessarily with that, but also with how do it's when there's a building that's been vacated, and then within weeks you get the Muppets in there who've smashed all the windows and graffitied
Hmm.
on every floor. You think, well, I wouldn't say, and no offense to anybody who is a graffiti artist, that they've got that level of intelligence to know when a building's empty or not. So I often wonder whether they're invited in by the council to make the building completely beyond refurbishment, for example, so then they're forced to demolish it.
Well, I've got a story about that. In Stevenage, there was a house that was derelict, but the developers couldn't touch it because there was bats in it, and bats are a protected species, so they couldn't knock the place down. So vandals went to the local garage and filled up a couple of jerry cans of petrol, sprinkled it all around, and caught light to the building. Now, why would a vandal go to the garage and pay out their good hard earned money for petrol to burn the place down? And the police said there was no suspicious circumstances whatsoever, and the developer managed to build houses on there where the house was.
Yeah,
Slap my
sounds
thigh! What a
about
s- what a surprise! And I ran that took a few handshakes down the Masonic Hall to get that one through, didn't it?
definitely. It happens
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, there's the amount of. I mean, I was up in for my sins. I was up in Oldham. When was I
Mhm.
up there? Probably like this time last year. And I went out to a tram stop at Oldham Mumps, which is looking a bit, was looking a bit down, a little bit rough. But there was an old world building next to the tram stroke bus station type area, if you like,
Mhm.
that clearly used to be a magnificent building, completely
Mm.
trashed, graffiti everywhere, windows all broken.
Mm.
So again, same apply. That it'll get to a point where the council say, "Well, we need to pull that down." But I bet because it's an old world building, they want to get rid of it because they don't want the evidence of the old world being here, which is
Oh,
why a
I
lot of the
agree
old
with
world
you. I
buildings
agree with you.
disappear off.
It's like all the bells are all taken in and melted down because bells have a resonance that is healing resonance. But I tell you what gets me is public lavatories. Now, once upon a time, they used to have someone that was employed to make the place spotlessly clean, all that sort of thing. Well, I generally, if I'm taken short, and this earlier this year, it was a bloody cold day, and I'd had one coffee too many when I left the house, and I need to go to the Carsey, you see. So I went in my usual place, which is the KFC Carsey, but it says it was, what was it, out of order. I thought, yeah, it's bloody out of order. I need to go for a pee, you see. So I went, because I didn't go in there and use the lavvy. So I went out of there and I thought, there's a bus station near here. There must be one in the bus station. And I could see gents, ladies. I thought, hey, and my bladder was thinking, I was getting a communication from the bladder saying, "We're bloody full up down here. We need to empty as soon as possible." And it was freezing cold day. So I was charged along to the bus station. I thought, relief at last. Put my hand on and pushed the door. Staff only. So,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
so can't other people go for a pee? So I thought, oh God, what am I going to do? So luckily, there's a place called Fish Pools, which is a place that posh shop. I use their lavvy. They
But
got
do you
one.
find that
Uh,
it's harder to come by to find public
hmm,
lavatories? And again, the same thing applies there. How often are they closed for vandalism? But
yeah.
surely, I mean, these days, I mean, they used to make those out of metal. See, I
Hmm.
mean, they were bloody horrible, to be fair. But you'd have the metal bog with them plastic things on that nobody could ever balance on. Who would, how would you ever vandalize something that's made of steel? Unless you've gone in there with
I
a
know.
hammer.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I reckon they just close them for this because they don't want to maintain them, basically.
I agree. I agree with you. And I mean, so another weird thing now, I often cycle through the Lee Valley. It's deserted. It's full of trees, forests, huge forests, you see. And there's not a problem if you need to go to the loo there because, well, you just pick a tree in any direction. And I can guarantee that once I'm midway through having a pee, some bastard will call past on the footpath. I can go, morning, nice out, isn't it? Yes, lovely out, yes.
Did you notice it's raining? Only over you.
Now, I'm intrigued at Pink Planet about this model railway club. Where is it? Near me. There's lots of things that I'm not really a club enthusiast. No, it says here, um, Exo says maybe Hereditary get fucked as we are northern types. Yup. We can ask Anorak what happened to his infamous HS2 rail line extension.
It's very political. I don't. In all honesty, I think it's the northern bit they should have done. Although,
Hmm.
in my with my anorak hat on, I would rather see them reopen lines that they closed previously. Because
Hmm.
the whole reason with HS2 was to give was to allow more room on the likes of the West Coast Main Line,
Yeah.
and because apparently that's at full capacity. But that wouldn't the HS2 thing wouldn't change that because all it would be doing is replacing what would be the Pendolinos on the West Coast at the moment.
Hmm.
But if they're trying to get more freight capacity, the freight doesn't run on the same lines as the high-speed passenger trains as it were. So, in my opinion, I think HS2 was not needed, and it should have been. They should have used that money to reopen many of the lines that they closed under beaching, and then that might get rid of all
Hmm.
the issues that we've got on the roads. So your trucks and
Spot
stuff like
on.
that, there's problems on your
Well,
motorways.
you are transport. you're Minister of Transport for Fockham, and when I become Führer next week, you will be changing quite a few things on the railway. Actually, I think you'd make a bloody good job of it. I think you should go along to, I don't know who the bleeding hell the Transport Minister is, and tell them go away.
F off.
And
Yes,
yes, yeah.
yes. I have to say that as it stands at the moment, I do love trains, but using
Mm,
them is really hard work at the moment, and
yeah.
I can't help but think it's a bit like the issues you have when we talk about like traveling by car or the roadworks here and there, and to stop you traveling. And
Mm.
they're doing exactly the same now with the railways, and I can't
Oh,
help but think that
definitely.
that's the reason why they've brought the railways back into government ownership. And I've got another thing to add to that as well. I'm wondering how long before they bring out facial recognition on board trains. And the reason why I bring that up is because on Thursday last week, I came back from Stafford to Wolverhampton on a cross
Mhm.
country service, but it was a refurbished Voyager train.
Yeah.
And above the doors, there's two cameras, which I don't think were on the unrefurbished Voyagers. Now, I believe those cameras are there to do facial recognition as you board the train or get off the train, whichever. And what highlighted that to me was LNWR when they refurbished the Class 350s. I know that won't mean anything to people, but do have a quick look into them. Where when you board, there's a camera above each door leaf, so the doors open
Mm.
outwards as a set of two, and there's a camera above each. But why would they need that? You just presume you just need one camera if you're just spying on people.
You got a good
So I get a
point. And
feeling that that's what they're for.
is it coming back into public ownership then, the rails?
It already has. Yeah, this Great British Railway thing
I
is
don't know.
they're
No,
trying to.
so British Rail's coming back, so going to have Brit Rail again.
Yeah, but it won't be as it was in the respect that I wish it
Mm.
was because we could get all these crappy modern trains that really don't work, and
Mm.
we could have we could have a load more of, like in my picture there.
So Virgin's gone,
They
and
worked.
people like. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to talk
No,
across you.
no,
Then it's
say
very
again.
rude
Sorry,
of me.
I
Sorry,
missed that bit.
but Virgin. So Virgin's gone, and those sort of people. Have they
Yeah,
got the order of
they're
boat?
slowly bringing them all back in. So Southwest Railways, Southeast, and they're all now part of
Mm.
Great British
But
Railway
Anglia,
C2C.
that's near me. So
Yeah,
Anglia
yeah,
is
they
near
are.
my
They're part of
local
it.
one.
Well, you're under your local operator now is, I guess, technically your London Overground because you got the
No,
services
it's
that go out
Anglia.
to Cheshunt. Is Cheshunt your
Yeah.
nearest station?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's London Overground.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah, yeah,
But I know
yeah.
that Anglia is south or whatever it is. But to go anywhere by rail, you need a degree in bleeding accountancy to understand it because it's so complicated. I mean, I went up to Stoke-on-Trent once, and I thought, well, I
Of
won't bother
course,
going
I
by
did.
car because, well, it was on a Saturday, and I thought there's nowhere to bleed and park there. I went up to a oh, was it what's that Brian Gerrish thing? What's his name? UK column meeting, and
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
all years ago in 2010. So I thought, well, I'll jump on the train. So he just, oh, no, never again. I'll drive. I prefer to drive. And it took me a month of Sundays. And to book the ticket, it was so complicated. If you go here, do this, do that. Oh, my Godfathers. It's terrible. Why can't you just say, well, I'm going to go there? And uh, why have they why I hope they make it more simple to travel. So, because
Well,
otherwise,
the ticketing system, if you know your way around it, you
mm,
can get some good deals. I don't agree with this
yeah,
booking in advance stuff because that
mm,
again is effectively tracking where you're going.
yeah,
Whereas sometimes you can get fairly decent fares. So, for example, if anyone lives in Derby and you're going up to Sheffield, if you book from Uttoxeter to Sheffield, that works out cheaper, even though it's further.
that's
And
interesting.
sometimes splitting your journey also works
Yeah,
better. So I did Chester on Saturday, just gone. So I did Telford, Shrewsbury, Chester, and that works out about 25 quid. Whereas if I book Telford, Chester, it's probably about 35, but it's still the same train. As long as the train calls at that station, obviously, if it's somewhere like Yorton, which is one of the little shacks
mm,
between Shrewsbury and Crewe, then that'll be more tricky because hardly any trains stop there. But as long as you break the journey up, it works. You can
that's
get so many
interesting.
cheap fares, and
Mm.
And there's also ways around it as well. So, for example, there was a couple of two people got on the train at Wolverhampton thinking the train they were on was going to Stoke and Manchester, and when they worked out that actually it wasn't going there, I helped them. I said, "Well, just change at Shrewsbury, this service, and then up to Manchester." And the guard came down and he said, "Well, they'll need to buy a new ticket." I said, "No, they won't. I said, 'Cause it's still valid. It's still a valid route. You can still travel
Mm.
from Wolverhampton to Shrewsbury and then go to Manchester that way. It's still a valid route." And he let them off. He said, "Okay, no problem.
That's
Just
all
knowing
right.
the routes."
Well, it's true because what I do now, I mean, I'm I'm thinking of going on a jolly at Leon Sea, which I happen to like, and but you get ripped off for parking, and you've only got a couple of hours parking. So I thought, balls to that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to park in a housing estate outside Leon Sea, which is about 2 miles. And I've got my fold up bike. I'm just going to cycle in from my
Yeah,
car.
because
So I
from where
drive
you
along.
are,
Yeah.
because because for you, you'd have to go into London presumably to come back
Oh,
out if you
yeah, I
did
don't
that
want to
by
do that.
train.
So I'm going by car. I mean, it's an M25 job, and then was it the A12? I think it is all the way to Leon Sea. And but if you parking is a nightmare. But this is the good thing about having a fold-up bike because you just put it in your car, park on the outskirts, and then cycle in if the weather's nice. It's a nice day. Um,
Well,
s-
if you want to have a look, I'll have a good prices because the only reason I'm saying is because I don't know if Leon C counts
mm,
as within the London area because you might because if you so for example if I got off at Watford,
mm.
a travel card would cover from Watford into London and then back out potentially something like Cheshunt, for example. So
Oh,
Leon C would be on the C2C line, I think. So
yeah.
that'd get you as far as somewhere like Upminster with the
Mm.
travel card. So all you need to do is just basically pay the bit from Upminster to Leon C.
Really? And how much is a
So it might
travel
work out.
card? I don't know.
Have you got a
What
rail
is it? Do you
card or
get?
anything like that?
No, no, because I'm a car and bike person. I don't really go by public transport. So was a travel card for the London area only, or something like that,
Yeah,
or
yeah. So it
I
covers
don't know.
all the zones for London. So that
How
would
much are
cover.
they?
That's a good question. About 15 quid, I'd guess.
That's cheap, isn't it? Oh,
And I reckon that would cover you into London and back out. I'll have a look. I'll have a look for you and I'll
oh,
drop you
that's
an
very
email.
kind. Thank you. Mind you, I sometimes prefer going by car, but and if it's a nice day, I mean, what I do, I never park in allocated car parks because you have to pay. And as I say, being a tight fisted git, I just find a housing place where there's houses and just park round there
Oh,
because it's
got someone's
safer.
drive.
Yeah, well, no, I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I park because
Oh,
I
the
could be a
milkman's round
guest.
again.
Yeah, but you know, a twitchy curtain place because you know your car's more safe at a twitchy curtain place. Because if someone comes along to nick it, you get the old twitchy curtains. So the car thieves don't tend to go around those sort of places, and then I get the old folding bike out and cycle in, and that's it.
Just make sure it's not parked in Basildon, unless you collect house bricks.
Oh bloody hell, Basildon, yeah. Now I was thinking of Hadley. I was going to park in Hadley and then cycle in from Hadley, and that's the thing. But
What's this? What's this Chafford 100 place? I've been through there on the train out to
I
wherever it
don't
was I was
know.
going to. Chafford 100.
I don't know.
Is it a
So,
shopping centre or something?
don't know. Yeah, I've heard of it. Don't know much about it. But a place I'm thinking of going down to also is Cornwall. Before the end of the year, is have a jolly down there because that's my
I
favourite
wouldn't do that by
part of the
train.
world.
I would have done years ago. In fact,
Mm.
one of my friends sent me a video from Dawlish and Teignmouth from
Oh, it's a car
1985,
job. Yeah, it's a car job down there. I'm going to drive down there.
and every train that went past was 10 and 12 coaches in length, and now they're
Mm.
four. So we
Yeah.
got an increased growth in the population, and the
Mm.
trains are pathetically small. It's
Well, you see, the thing is, this time of the year in Cornwall, it's tourists everywhere. But if you do what I do, and that is park on the outside and then cycle in, and then with that's the beauty of a fold-up bike. You shove it in the back of your car, and it's you're combining two of my favourite enjoyment, and that is driving and cycling. So there we go. See, I'm
do you ever
boring
worry?
fart sometimes.
Do you ever worry though when you're on the fold-up bike that do you have to avoid like drains and things like that because the wheels
Oh,
are much
bloody
smaller.
hell. It's only 16-inch wheels, yeah. And you feel very vulnerable, which is very strange, much more vulnerable than you do on an ordinary bike. Um, the range, 2 or 3 miles, and you know it.
So
you,
you're
you
walking
get a
like John Wayne
BSA.
when you finished.
Oh, bloody hell, you get a BSA, a bloody sore arse, but
This town ain't
it's
big enough
slow.
for the both of us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm used to sort of head down, drop handlebars, racing jobby, but it's a bit like riding one of those Dutch bikes that they call granny bikes, because you can't go a speed. You're just going about twice walking speed. That's it. But that's better than walking, isn't it?
So,
Really?
so in your bike collection, do you have a bike
Mm.
for every occasion then?
Mm.
When you have
Yeah,
like cars for, you might have
yeah.
a posh car for weddings and then a
Mm.
rusty car for, I don't know,
Well,
a TV
no,
series. Do you have a
that's
bike for
right.
every occasion?
Yeah, and I've also a car. I've got a smart car for local journeys and my Toyota for long journeys. So when I go down Cornwall, I use my Toyota. But for short journeys, like say Hadley, I'll probably use my smart car. So I've got flexibility there. And with my bikes, yeah, I've got mountain bike for when it's a bit sort of crappy weather. Fold up bike for what I said I'd use it for there, and a racing bike when I want to go like shit off a shovel. Yeah, but yeah, I always think flexibility. That's what you need in life, and you can actually carry a fold-up bike on a train as long as it's covered. So there we are. And
Well, they have
but
they have they have spaces now for bikes on trains. That you don't need to
hmm,
fold them up anymore.
really,
So if yeah,
oh,
yeah. So if you like on I was saying about being London Overground, I think it's
hmm,
at one end of the so they're 5 car sets now, the units that you get, and the
yeah,
one end of each car or each set has got a bike space and or a couple of bike
oh,
spaces.
that's interesting. But with a fold up, you can have it next to you, so you know what? That's no bozo's going to nick it. They're very very convenient fold ups, but
Just not electric
uh,
bikes. They don't allow them on the road.
oh, but Bromptons are you're paying for the name. Quite honestly, there's a Chinese copy of a Brompton that you get now, which is half the price, but it's £3,500 for a bike. No way. That's a joke. That really is. But people pay it. But you can get a second-hand Brompton. But the trouble is, they hold their price as well. They're over £1,000. So
But of
my
course, it
one's called
depends
a
on how
Pyramid.
long you need, how long it'll be before you need to replace the battery as well, which is probably more than the bike itself, a bit like
Oh
electric cars and
yeah,
stuff like
no,
that.
I'm not talking about electric ones. I'm talking about
Oh,
ordinary
sorry.
pedal ones. Yeah, that
Oh,
they
okay.
are. I mean, my one's a pyramid. I haven't got a Brompton. I've got a Pyramid, and it's steel, which is a bit more heavier than aluminium, but it's more solid. It's more solid. It won't fall to bits. But yeah, it's as I say, it's it's very basic, but it gets you. So if you do a couple of miles on it, you'll get there in half the time of walking, or a little bit faster than walking. If you're going downhill, you can go quite speed. A bit hairy though. But now, what's this exo says? Bloody Southern Fair is cheeky sod. Bloody Northerners, yeah, I don't know. And regarding your train layout, you said how should just get folks said staycation, just get a magnifying glass. Now that's interesting. Yes. Um, Now what's this? Alice Gordis, where she says sound quality is better on Food for Thought Radio. DJ. Hi, and it's for charity, mate. It certainly is for charity. Uh, um, Now it says if I go onto Food for Thought Radio, YouTube, it overrides it. I'm on a crappy mobile, mate. I never heard of a phone called a crappy mobile, mate. Have you? No.
No, although
So, uh, now, what's this? That painting, Eric, just did put me off my boil in the bag fish and mash. Yes, it does look like a sort of, especially a volcano, actually.
I think
So
she's
there
on
we are.
about. I think Exo's on about the you're panting from earlier when you were doing your Yeah, Rolf Harris
Oh,
impersonation.
panting. Oh, sorry. It says panting.
Not
So I'm a bit
painting.
dyslexic. I'm terribly sorry. I think it's my dyslexia coming through. Yeah, my panting. Yes. Thanks for that. I met a woman from Aussie. She was a right perv. Was she really? Oh, well, you know.
Hey, you live a
But
life there, don't you, Exo? Hey, boil in the bag, fish and mash.
now,
You need to get yourself to Shrewsbury Market to get yourself some beef steaks or something and a few veggies.
yeah.
Be well away.
Uh,
Bit of Celtic
now,
salt. Can't go wrong.
Mark Anthony says, Eric, check for an updated picture. Oh, bloody hell. Is it on there now? Because I'll show it on the screen. Uh, yeah, it says Eric and
Before the
Paul.
watershed, by the way.
Yes, not a pretty sight. Eric and Paul. Cliff Richard is definitely one of them who has gotten away with it. What he's done is known as a kitty, known as Kitty. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
say that's right. Allegedly. And
Yes.
guess where Cliff Richard used to live? Near where I live.
Did he?
Hi. Yeah. And
Did
there's a
you?
place
Did
called
you?
Cliff Richard Court. But what part of his would actually got caught, I don't know. But anyway, it's old
I tell you,
people's
he
home.
doesn't talk to you anymore. So
Oh
there's a
no.
sorry, that's the only one I can think of song wise.
I was a little depressed once. Now you know I don't get on with my sister very well. I haven't spoken to her since 2010. I haven't even seen her, and I was really down once, very very down. She said, "Now I can't stand Cliff Richard." She said, "Why don't you go to a Cliff Richard concert? That'd cheer you up." I said, "I'd rather have my teeth removed without anaesthetic than that." And she didn't understand what I mean. Oh, it's lovely. I thought, oh, ugh, ugh. He's so squeaky clean, isn't he? Hello, I'm
Yes.
Cliff. I don't have to use toilet paper because I'm so squeaky clean. So, you know. Now,
He probably doesn't either.
no, he probably doesn't.
He probably
I'm
uses
so funny.
that his living doll.
Well, or it's so funny I don't shit anymore. Sorry.
It's like he's in the room. The likeness is uncanny. I tell you what, if this new picture, if the new picture of you's got you done up wired for sound.
What part of my anatomy is wild for sun? That's what I'm worried about. Oh, by the way, back to Cliff Richard. There was now this is allegedly, of course, because I don't want his lawyers after me. There was a copper that lived opposite me. He's moved now, and he said one of his mates, stopped a car on the embankment one evening, and there was four blokes in there dressed as women, and one of them was allegedly, I believe, Cliff Richard.
Well,
And this was
I
on
wouldn't
the
be
embankment in
surprised.
London. And I worked with a bloke who lived near the um, guards place in London, where the horse guards are.
Yeah.
Not quite sure when it is. And he said that he often saw in his school chums, used to see regularly Cliff Richard in a car outside the guards place. What he was doing there is anyone's guess.
He was probably going to rub one of the guards' swords, I suspect.
Oh, oh dear.
Apparently. Sorry, I missed that bit.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Now, DJB2, I bought a 4 gigabyte. NVMe SSD for £250 in 2025, and now it's 899 from the same place.
God, I can't afford that. I'll have to
No,
sell my body for at least a year to get that.
bloody hell.
I
I
know
just
exactly.
well, I'll probably have to sell my body for medical experiments for that.
I might have to put a wanted poster up for me for £10,000 and then go and hand myself in and get the money for it.
That's a good one. Actually, I was just wondering, are you're not over the border in Wales, are you? Because you could get
Yeah.
no,
No.
because if you could make out you're Welsh, we could take the piss out of you, and you can get compensation from us. Because you could say it's racial discrimination. Yeah, just a thought.
Can,
Now,
sorry, can you get rid of that sheep? So, oh, sorry, am I still live?
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a video the other day, actually. I don't know if it was me mate Richard who sent it me, and it was one of these, these comedy where they do like interviews with people,
Yeah.
and you get the old woman who says, "Oh, bloody crap, this, that, and the other." And there was a
Yeah.
sign with it was this woman was interviewing some fake politician, and there was a sign that said, "No Welshmen beyond this point." There's all sheep in this field. And whilst they do the interview, this Welsh bloke walks past and starts tying up all the sheep.
I think I've seen that. It's a bit like many years ago, and I'm going back a long way. You see, I was driving home from work. I've said this before on a show, so go and make a cup of tea if you heard it before. And it was Anna Raven. Do you remember Anna Raven, who spoke about sexual problems and things like that? Well, I didn't know she was on, and I was driving home from work trying to keep myself awake, and it's pissing down with rain, and I was tuning the dial around trying to find something interesting to listen to. All it was crap, and suddenly I've came onto this show, this program, and I heard this person say, "Hello, can I speak to Anna Doctor, please?" What's this? And he said, I've had a relationship. So I'm driving along. He said, yes. Don't worry. With an Alsatian. I went, what? And her answer was, oh, that's quite natural if you've been brought up with animals. I went, I almost went in the back of a bus. I was so shocked. I went,
What?
There's this bleeding bus in front of me. I thought, did I hear that right? That's quite natural if you've been brought up with animals. Eh? So that
But,
sort of played on my mind a little bit. And I was thinking, perhaps I've been working a bit too hard. And I just sort of didn't really hear it. Well, when I got to work the next morning, it's still playing on my mind, thinking, that's perfectly natural if you've been brought up with animals. No, no. I mean, they're saying, get off the air, you bleeding perv. And I'm sure that program, the technicians used to make up stuff so to hot it up a bit. And because that voice, it sounded a little bit put on, the sort of hello.
yeah.
Anyway, I work with a load of Australians, and I went into work next day, and the Australian said, Hey, Bruce, do you hear that? Yeah, that bleeding pom last night on Anna Raven shagging Alsatians? She says, yeah, cool, cross. She says, we've got sheep shaggers in New Zealand, now we've got bleeding poms shagging dogs. And all day, all I got was, hey, Pom, look, there's a nice Alsatian outside there. Oh, there's a Pekingese now. You can go, why don't you go down there and make it? I said,
So does that mean so for that bloke who was shagging Alsatian, does that mean that
yeah.
if he went past Battersea Dog's home, he'd think that's a brothel?
Well, so wonder,
Oh,
it's a wonder she,
oh, you put
she
me
did.
cages. Oh, can I have a bulldog, please?
Cool, blimey, talk about Tommy Dang at Kangaroo Down Sport. I mean, yeah, but I am sure that was made up, and I think a lot of them were. I'm positive.
Well,
It got a
well, you
bit
remember
boring.
years
People saying,
ago.
I've got an intro in toe now, and they think, right, okay, boys, spruce it up. Yeah, sorry, he's going to say, Paul.
Well, remember things like was it in the likes of the Sun where you used to have the Dear Deirdre and all?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, we haven't had sex for 25 years, and my my wife's gone off with the milkman, and they think, yeah, whatever. We don't
Yeah.
even get a milkman anymore.
Well, what about the elderly couple that was looking at their local council, what they can do? And apparently, if you was over 65, you see, you can get free sailing. You can actually learn to sail courtesy of the local council or a reduced rate.
Sale.
And I thought, yeah, sailing in ships, sailing in boats and things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she said,
That's
so
it.
the elderly couple says, "Hey, George, that's a good idea. Let's go on that. It's only 10 quid for both of us, and we learn to sort of, we can sail around the coast a bit." So she said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. We've got nothing to do, yeah." So anyway, they go down to the local council, and she says, "Oh, can you tell us where we can get on the sailing classes?" And the woman says, "Yes, you go up the corridor, second left, first right, then down a flight of stairs, and along another corridor, third right." Then anyway, they get completely bleeding lost, and they're wandering around the council, and they didn't realise that they've wandered into the marriage guidance place. You see, and They think, she says, oh, I think this might be the room. So anyway, they knock on the door and the woman says, come in. And they walk in there and she says, take a seat. So they sit down and she says, now, well, when did you last do it? And the woman says, oh, when was it, George? I think it was in 1985. And the woman says, 1985? That's an awful long time ago. Why haven't you done it since then? She said, well, the first time he was sick and the second time his hat blew off. That's a terrible joke, isn't it? Now, Pink Planet, that Pink Planet, don't mention our local council, whatever you do, because they're such nice people. It says, councils have professional arsonists.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes. Now, Alice Gorgeous says, I love Hatchie, but not like that. Really. Now,
We won't spread rumours.
yes, it's okay. I'm getting a bit behind with the chat. Bats are cute flying rodents. Are they really? Uh, now, what's this? Cheshunt Park, Debenham, Debenham's house. Nothing wrong with it. What did I say? There was something wrong with it.
Is that one that's been vandalised and demolished or something?
I don't know, but it wasn't there at Stevenage that this happened. That we got burnt out. Now, I see.
Is
All
that
the
where
time that
Debenhams
happens at
began?
Cheshunt. I don't know. Oh, hang on it. All the time that happens, Cheshunt Great House, Cheshunt Park. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got it out of sequence. And Devon Cheshunt Park, Debenham's house. Nothing wrong with it. So there we are. Oh, that's interesting. There is a golf course there, and there was a couple of men of a different persuasion walking round. I'm not sure I'm going to get arrested for this, you see. And a golf ball went, just missed one. He's missed his mate Percy, you see, and walking a bit further, golf ball missed another one. So I said, Percy, I'm going to complain about this. So he goes up to the golf place where they're all teeing off, and he says, "Oh, Skay," he says, "Excuse me," and he goes up this bloody great Texan. He says, "Your golf ball just missed my friend Percy twice, and I'm going to take you to court because of this." And this Texan turns around and says, "Kiss my arse." Oh, can we have an out of court settlement? Sorry. Right, I'm probably going to get arrested for that gag. DJ Bisu says, hang on, where are we? I get more sense from animals than most humans. Present company are exceptions, and laugh out loud. Now, Mike Mantis says, the more I learn about people, the more I like my dog, Samuel L. Clements. It's a funny name for a dog, isn't it? That's it.
I still think shark's better for the name of a dog.
Yeah, it's a good idea, isn't it? Walk along. Shark. Or what about fire? Fire. Or what about sit? Sit. Sit. Come, sit.
Actually, you know what's missed there. Actually, you need to call the dog arse, and then you go up to people and say, "Have you seen my arse?" No. He was really, my arse ran off down there earlier on. Have you seen him?
Oh, my arse is just preening himself. Now,
my arse has just pissed up that lamppost. What?
My arse has just done a whoopsie. It's like the blind man. You see, his dog just does a piss up his leg. You see, the bloke goes out, the blind man. He says, "Excuse me," he says, your guide dog's just done a piss up your leg. He says, "Has he? Oh, hang on a minute." Feels in his pocket and gets a dog biscuit out. He said, "Why are you giving your dog a dog biscuit? Because he's just pissed up your leg." He said, "That's so I can find out where his head is, so I can kick him in the balls." So now, Argos has just been up for sale. The Sainsbury's are looking for someone to buy them now. Really? Because did you know what?
So when they sell Argos, then does somebody turn up with a piece of paper with a code on, and they go out the back and say, "Your Argos is ready for collection."
Yes, that's an idea. Yes, but did you know who Argos? For those of you of a certain age, sort of got a bit of a bald head. Um, uh, did you know that Argos were originally Green Shield stamps? And when Green Shield stamps stopped going, which was about 1980 something, they turned into Argos. See, not
No
many
way.
people know that. Yeah. Do you remember
So I
Green
thought
Shield stamps?
Home Base part of was Home Base part of the Sainsbury's group as well, or one of those
Mm.
DIY
Yeah.
places like B&Q or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes, Homebase was Sainsbury's part of it, their group, and
Yeah.
they sold them off. But they're no more, are they, Homebase? Don't think. Are they? Don't think that. I think they've gone. Well, they're definitely gone. Um, now, Pink Planet says, DJ, yes, animals, much better company. Yes.
They don't answer back
Unless
for one
you,
thing.
yes, unless you've got a budgie, they shit all over you. We used to have a pet budgie, yeah. A
No,
mate of mine.
when I when I was young, we used to have a pet budgie, and I'll tell you what, it was the most vicious little bastard out there. You put your finger
I
in it, and
know.
you knew about it. Yeah, it
Yeah.
got to a point where we put a picture of it on the door and said, "I live here," to keep the burglars away.
That's a good. Well, I tell you, so you getting it from a bleeding budgie, you soon know. Aggressive little sods. They
They
can
are.
be, but a mate of mine, he, he, he and his sister used to have a budgie, and the budgie took a personal dislike to his sister, you see. So the family's sitting down, and this is when he was young, and they're sitting down for breakfast, and his sister had a nice bowl of cornflakes with milk in it, and the budgie dive bombed it and shit right on the cornflakes. Now, and they say that birds are incontinent. They're not. Nah. Now, public lavatories are not really, this is DJB2, not really closed for vandalism. It mainly for perverts doing something to each other in them. Yes, I can't say that because it's a family show. Yes,
Doesn't
you're
stop
probably
you
right.
before. Well, well,
You
well,
speak for
wasn't
yourself.
there wasn't there something to do with George Michael and a public lavatory many many years ago, where he
Yeah, they
was a
want
bit
to put a
careless
plaque
with
there.
his whisper?
Oh, and also Tony Blair in Longacre. And apparently he was caught in the lavatories, allegedly, I believe, with a gentleman doing something rather shall we say, unpleasant. And he was taken to Bow Street Court, Bow Street Police Station. And when Blair got into power, isn't it strange? All the records from Bow Street Police Station uh, got burnt in a fire. Amazing, that isn't
No,
it? No.
no way.
And as
I
I've
do
often
wonder if that.
said, Mhm. Yeah, sorry,
I
carry
do
on.
wonder if that's why we have a lot of buildings on these, the grade two listed buildings and that sort of thing. I do
Yeah,
wonder if that's what that list's for, so they know what to target when they need to burn something down.
yeah, you got a good point there. But I actually think they ought to have a blue pack in the lavatory where Tony Blair was caught. It's a good be a good tourist thing, wouldn't it? As I've said before, they would have actors posing as Tony Blair with his trousers down, and Japanese tourists go, "Oh, Tony Blair, his trousers down," posing next to him. Be quite good. Hello, Tony here. Uh,
Is that why he was always smiling then?
ah, well, he was called, was it Miranda or something when he was at university? Because he like allegedly, I believe, dressed as a lady. A
Unless he
lady.
actually, unless he actually was a lady, because we know they're all inverts in their world.
Who knows? Probably. Yeah, you got a good point. But of course, uh, Michelle Obama is a man, a woman, isn't she? Definitely a woman. I
Oh,
don't
Big
think.
Mike, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Big Mike. Well, you've only
It,
got to.
or
You
it,
don't have to be an expert, but you just look at the shoulders and the
well,
frame.
well, it's like when the Obamas unveiled their painting on their family
Mm.
painting, and the painter had got so much detail it actually got the budgie smuggler on Big Mike. That's what you call attention to detail.
Oh, bloody hell, I say, yes. What, the old fruit down the front of the trousers, jobby.
Yeah.
Uh, now, this is an interesting one. See, a bit of knowledge here. The Craven in Craven Arms comes from the Craven family, local landowners who own the nearby Stokesby Castle.
Okay.
And Regis Getfoot says Elton John can find a public laugh. He got Gaydar. Oh yes, Gaydar. Ding, ding. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yes. There we go. But I tell you what annoys me with Elton John. There's some people I just irritate. That bloody dangling earring he's got. Doesn't it look a complete? Oh, I don't know. But have you seen him recently? He looks half dead, doesn't he? He's
He
fat.
probably is. Maybe someone hasn't poked him for a while.
Well, perhaps they dig him up occasionally. But yes.
Apparently,
Um,
didn't he get excited when somebody told him he could have a Ring doorbell?
well, I did hear that he's actually having the front of his house done up, and he'll only allow selective tradesmen up his back passage of his house. Yes. Uh,
It's like a ritual, this, isn't it? He always gets, he always get jokes about him on it.
oh, crabs, yes. Now, talking about Alex Gould just says HS2 was a gigantic Spiff,
Well, the
is
thing
that?
is, it's the southern half is being done, but it's a complete. To me, if you live in Birmingham, if you live in London, yes, it probably will make the journey quicker. But that's it. If I if you got somebody travelling in from Welshpool, or let's take the assumption that EXO travels in from Craven Arms to go to London and use HS2. By the time he's got the train from Craven Arms up to Shrewsbury, change trains, then a service from there down through to Wolverhampton or Birmingham, from Birmingham New Street to Curzon Street, which is quite a distance. You could
Mm.
actually have boarded a train at Wolverhampton or gone through and got a Pendolino straight through, and be there quicker. I'm probably not selling HS2 very well here, but HS1 was needed.
Yeah.
That worked
Mm.
because it was linking it was connecting the continent with a high speed line. That works.
Mm.
Eurostars use that, but HS2 is not needed. It really isn't needed,
Right.
and some
Really?
politician somewhere is making an absolute fortune out of the construction of this, and they've
Wow. Yeah.
under the
Sorry,
HS2
carry on, mate. Yeah.
thing, the all the amount of buildings and they've purchased, especially the northern bit as well, where there where people who were on the route of the line will have been approached by HS2 and said you can either have it for this price or this price, and whichever price they go for, it's always the cheapest one. They basically force on the people, so they buy the buildings for these people's homes for
Mm.
next to nothing,
That's
demolish
right,
them,
pennies.
and the people can't claim them back if even though they've now cancelled the bit north of Birmingham. That's
Well,
still owned by HS2.
they did that
It's
near.
absolute
Yeah.
joke.
Well, near where I live, I was going to widen the A10, this Great North Road, and they houses that people had were worth peanuts. They couldn't sell them, and oh, it's terrible. But they didn't go ahead with it. So luckily the people still got their houses, and
And the thing is, when you go like France, like the TGV network in France, their high speed lines are pretty much in the middle of nowhere, so there's hardly any population around them. So you get a train from TGV from Paris to, I don't know, Milan or something like that, and that's Italy.
mm,
And the high speed lines they take are literally in the middle of nowhere, so nobody's really been uprooted. A few houses maybe here and there, not entire towns like they've done here.
mm,
Our towns are not such a great distance that you need 250-mile-an-hour trains. Whereas, like to go
no,
north to South France, yes, you would because it's a big country, and that's where your high speed line comes into it, and that stops local national air flights, for example. So you wouldn't
yeah,
you it'd be quicker to get on a TGV and go from Paris to the south of France than it would be to go into Charles de Gaulle Airport south and get your transfer across. So
mm.
it's quicker to do by train than it is by aircraft. But not in our country. It's not
But
needed.
but do you find that trains on the continent are far superior? I mean, our trains are shit
Yes.
compared with the continent, and it's just well, I don't know. It's just everything's lacking. And DJ
It's
B2
every
said that when
aspect of.
Eric Well, that's right. I mean, everything is falling to bits, like potholes and roads. Oh, that's something you've got to look out for if you've got a folding bike. Potholes. Yeah, that's very unpleasant. But the good thing about fold up bikes is you've got big fat tyres on them. They're small, but they're fat, so they're very sort of boing to boing to boing to boing as you're going along. You get more punches as well. When Eric becomes Führer, Anorak will be wearing Hugo Boss and driving a bit, and that's DJ Vito, and driving a VW Beetle. But will Hugo like him? You wearing his clothes?
That I don't know. I'd go for
Hmm.
an old Beetle, want a proper one, not the modern
Same
crappy one.
here. Oh, I think they're marvellous. Brilliant cars. By the way, you said HS1 was needed for the continent, but was HS2 for the incontinent? I'm just wondering. So what do they do for the
That's a
incontinent? You
good
see, you got the
question.
continent. So 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 you sort of get on there and you say, so they've got no lavatories on them. The ones for the incontinent have got lavatories. Just a thought.
Well, the
And
HS1 thing. I mean, I've only ever been through the Channel Tunnel once, and that was when the Eurostars used to go out of Waterloo and not St Pancras as they do
yeah,
today. So I travelled to Brussels, or travel back from
yeah,
Brussels, whichever, and you travel back, or well, in either direction. And back then, this high speed Eurostar train does 180 bars, the Channel Tunnel, comes through onto our
mm,
side, and then gets stuck behind a stopping train from something like Dover through to London Charing Cross. So this 180-mile-an-hour train is doing every station effectively. So HS1
mm.
was needed for that purpose to get the Eurostars doing what they're supposed to do away from the normal services. But HS2 just isn't needed. It's just, yeah,
I know what you mean.
I agree
But
with
what's it?
DJ B2 there. Yeah, it is money
Yeah,
laundering. It is.
this is money laundering. What was it like going through the tunnel? I mean, with the when you go through customs, I suppose you just walk through, do you? And just get on the train and then get off and go walk through customs the other side. Is it,
I've
or
not done
was
it
it?
from St Pancras since the Eurostars moved into St Pancras. When I did it from
Mhm.
Waterloo, I honestly can't remember, but I don't remember it
Yeah,
being the level of hassle that you get at airports, for example. But when you
yeah,
with the Eurostars, I mean, my love of trains is, as everyone knows, it was
yeah.
the you go through the tunnel going towards Brussels or France, and you go through the tunnel, does about 80 miles an hour through there, and then you get the other side, and the driver literally puts the power on, and you got 16,000 horsepower between the
Bloody
two
hell!
power cars at either end. And I'll tell you what, that's a lot of power, and it don't half fly.
I
And
should think it
I
does,
know you
but
were saying before about the about mainland European trains. European railways are far superior to what we've got here
mm,
in every way for the most part. Ride
but
quality, power,
really.
the lot. Yeah,
But
yeah.
when you're going through in the tunnel, I mean, I could get a bit of claustrophobia. I don't like tube trains. And do you get a sense of claustrophobia knowing that there's sort of gallons of water above you, and that does it stop at all, or does it keep going? Because if it stops, I'd crap myself. I think, So,
Uh,
because I've been tempted to go through the tunnel because it doesn't matter if it's stormy, does it? I mean, the train still
yeah,
goes
they
because
still go through. By the way, just quickly off subject. Alice
mm,
has said, if you can see this, please get Eric to give a call in link for Matilda.
right. Was that early on?
No, it's just come through. Just come through.
Right. Send Matilda a link, please. Right. How do I? How can I send Matilda a link? I'll have to do it on here. Just one moment. I guess. Copy link. Does Matilda have Matilda? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to put the link in now. So you can copy it off the screen. Bang. That's it. Okay. So Matilda, she can copy it off of there. There it is.
Yeah, I do think I wish our railways were more like mainland Europe for the most part because we get really cheap, crappy built trains these days. Not how they used to be.
Mm.
The old ones were good, but for people who like speed and acceleration, especially like the likes of Germany, and they built such locos with such high horsepower. They'd compete with a Porsche off the mark, and I mean literally they would. We
Yeah, I know what you
when
mean.
I've mentioned the Czech Republic no end of times, and there was a class of electric loco where they're class 162s and 163s, and there was something like about 5,000 horsepower, and they'd use them on 3-coach trains. And I'll tell you what, the power off them things was unbelievable. Once the initial starting point was fairly slow, but once the power kicked in, they were phenomenal things.
Right, hang on a minute. I'll just what we got here? Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. Just press this and add to stream. Good evening, Matilda, and it's nice to
Good
speak to you.
evening.
You're now live on air.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, and where are you located, or do you wish to say you're located? I mean, are you in these sunny isles of Great Britain, or
I'm in England. Yep, I'm in Suffolk.
Suffolk? Oh well, someone's
Suffolk.
got to
Yeah,
live there. That's just up the road to me. I'm
sunny
in
Suffolk.
Hertfordshire, sunny Suffolk, and you're going to tell us an interesting story, I believe.
Well, yes, it's all about an angelic. Excuse me, an angelic experience I had. It happened over 20 years ago, and there's Pink and Alice. Well, I think Alice wants to hear about it. Maybe she's being forced. I don't know. But Pink certainly would like to hear, and Blu-ray were interested in it.
Well, by the
So,
way, thanks, Elf. I'll send it to Eric. I think Blu-ray's done something there to get you through as well. So I didn't mean to cut across you there. So
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, where shall I start? There's the lead-up story to it, the backstory, and there's the actual angelic experience, which I think most people are more interested in. Yeah, it was very wow at the time. I mean, I've always, I say always, you always feel there's something there, don't you? But you don't, and you don't question it. You just carry on with life and, doing the day-to-day mundane things. I was bringing up children, working, and I'd been seeing a chap that I'd become over 2 years quite close with, and we had a terrible breakup. It was really quite shocking, and I was really quite taken aback by how the events took place. And I was in Lincoln at the time, and I was born in Lincoln, so I decided I wanted to go and see the cathedral and cheer my day up. So I basically just drove off in floods of tears and got myself to Lincoln Cathedral. Eventually, I actually walked right past it in the beginning. I didn't realise it was at the top of the hill in Lincoln. And I'd walked all the way down to the bottom where there's a lovely little river. And I stood on the bridge there and watched a couple taking photographs of each other and made myself feel even more heartbroken when I turned round and saw the huge cathedral just looming over me, above me. So I walked back up the hill and I got to a bench that was at the top of the hill and basically thought, well, I'll sit down and have a rest. That hill was quite tiring. And when I got to the bench, there was a plaque on the bench that said, Jesus' resting place. And I laughed and thought, literally, thank God this bench is here. I'm so tired. So I sat on the bench, and when I looked to my left, there was the cathedral. So I had a little rest. I then got up and proceeded to walk to the cathedral. I couldn't get in. I couldn't open the door, and then suddenly it flew open. And on the other side of the door, while I'd been pulling at the door, I was supposed to push. So there was a young man on the other side of the door trying to get out while I was pulling at the door trying to get in. And eventually the door flew open. So I walked in, and I was basically there to admire, as you say, with cathedrals and churches, amazing architecture, the handicraftsmanship of men that can produce that type of beauty was absolutely phenomenal. And I was there to enjoy my day. And I walked around the cathedral, and I thought I'd look for the cathedral imp, the famous imp, the Lincolnshire imp. So I walked towards the front of the cathedral, and I walked down the left-hand side, I think they're called the cloisters, I'm not sure.
That's right. Yes.
And as I got to the front, there was these huge pillars right in the centre. And I stood beside this pillar, and I turned to look at the organ and the organ pipes. And as I looked up into the rafters where the organ pipes were going all the way up, this sob just came straight from nowhere. It came straight up my throat. And literally at the same time, something caught my eye, and I looked down to my left, and this angel appeared. Now, when I say this angel appeared, I wasn't aware it was an angel to start with, because it looked like it had been carved in the ground by a master craftsmanship. But the only thing was, the stone, it was a stone black floor, and there was these most amazing oval shaped blue eyes that were just shining out of this face that looked like it had been carved in the stone. And I straight away thought, well, this has got to be, you know, like the light coming through some stained glass windows. There has to be a logical explanation for this. So I turned away to look to see if there was any stained glass windows, and there were none in that area that the sun was shining through that could have produced anything that looked like that on the ground. And as I was looking away, it started to fade. So I looked back to see if it was still there and if it was going to disappear, and it came back even stronger, and the blue eyes just were just the most amazing sky blue colour that just shone out of this stone black face. It had a nose, it had a mouth, its head was slightly tilted to the left as though it was listening. The mouth was very straight, and the wings were huge. They were just ginormous. And to think of the size of this angel on the ground, I would have put it to possibly 12 foot, 14 foot tall, but it was actually in the ground. And just at that point where I kind of was believing what I was seeing, my legs gave way, my knees literally just buckled from underneath me. And then I heard thousands, absolutely thousands of this amazing, beautiful, angelic singing voices as I crumpled to the ground and just cried and cried and cried. And as soon as I started crying, it's like I stopped. And I felt this amazing warm sensation, this feeling being wrapped around me. And I was picked up literally and put back on my feet. And then I thought to myself, well, no way if that has just happened. That singing has to come from somewhere. So I asked one of the chaps who was going around pointing to or talking to tourists and everything that was in the cathedral if I could go and join the service, because this was a Saturday morning that I had actually turned up there. And there was actually a service going on. So he said if I was quiet, I could join in and go in and have a little look. So I walked through the doors to have a look at this service. And there was like maybe 9 little old biddies singing. And I thought, there's no way that those voices have come from those 9 little frail biddies sitting there singing. So I came out and absolutely bewildered, confused as in what to believe, because I didn't go in there seeking and searching. I was looking for the Lincolnshire imp and admiring man's architecture, but this angel came as fast as that sob had come up my throat. That angel had appeared to my left, just on the ground in front of me, and that was my angelic experience, and that's my only angelic experience I've ever experienced.
Are you an empath? Are you empathic? Do you find that
yes,
yeah,
I am quite an empathetic person, or empathic. I do tend to sense other people's feelings, and I like to my attitude is, treat other people how you'd like to be treated. So trying
That's
to
it.
understand somebody else's situation and circumstances, which would enable me to possibly give the right advice and or point them in the
Mhm.
right direction to get the right sort of help. So that's always been my background in the kind of work that I've done, is supporting in a service role, helping people.
That's excellent. But the thing is that you will find it, as I have, um, twice as difficult to find the right partner.
Yes, I seem to
Probably
attract
3 times.
narcissists.
Yes, you will. If you're an empath, you will attract narcissists, like bees around a hive,
Yeah,
and people that will
I
use you.
know.
And
I
the thing is,
know.
I bet you're. I admit it myself. I'm a soppy sod. I fall for it every time because it's part of your nature, and it's
I
something
do.
you gain wisdom. But a breakup, you gain wisdom, and I always think it's an extra
It's always
qualification
a
to use it.
lesson. Yes,
It's a
absolutely. It's a
it's
lesson to
that's right.
learn.
It's an extra
And there's one
qualification.
thing.
Mhm. Carry on. It's okay.
One thing I have learned is when you get that intuition, that sense of a red flag, is I've always ignored it. The alarm bells have been ringing, except for once. I remember getting a real proper red flag where the hairs on the back of my neck stood up, and I knew exactly that I was in a dangerous situation as such.
Mm.
But usually, talking or being with narcissists, they tend to be very charismatic, don't they, and
Oh
charming.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
and that you
and
are being used as shall we
mm,
say, like like we would think of a can of beans. Oh, you're used. You have a can of beans and you chuck it away afterwards. That's the way they look on
yeah, got what you've
life.
wanted, got what you've needed, and then and the narcissist always has another supply ready, apparently. So they're going to get moved straight on to somebody else who's and do exactly the same thing to them. So you have to kind of nip it in the bud as soon as you get that red flag, and don't ignore it. As much as you like to give people the benefit of the doubt and give them excuses, usually the red flag is the first sign.
That's right.
They need to be gone.
And
They're not for you.
And,
Pink
and
Planet.
did you
Sorry,
find that
mate. You carry on.
when you came out of the cathedral, did you find that had healed you or helped heal you? Because that's what my understanding is. That's what cathedrals and churches were built for, and originally was to help us heal. And that
It did. Yeah,
and that
you're not wrong, Paul. Yeah,
the usage of them for religious purposes has been brought in as a cover up for it, as it were, because they were originally built for.
yeah,
And I still don't. I'm
for
still
healing.
under the impression they weren't built by people either. I think they were built by some other civilization that knew the world we're in and what we lived on. Or
Well,
in.
yeah, because they get the acoustics and everything just perfect, don't
Yeah.
they?
And I know I talk a
That's
lot
right.
about
Yeah,
railway stations on here, and the likes of is it Grand Central Station in New York, where the way it's designed is that you can stand in one corner and just speak quietly, and somebody at the other end of the strip that goes across can hear what you're saying. Which again,
yeah,
they're repurposed for what they're actually being used for.
That's a good point.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now,
You're probably not wrong.
now Pink Planet has asked Eric, please ask Matilda. So did she get strength from that and feel better? That's from Pink Planet.
I did, but what it did also do is it sent me on a path of searching, of trying to research angels. I went online and I used to chat in all the chat rooms. If there was a chat room going, I was in there chatting. There was Yahoo, MSN chat. There was chat rooms. I joined the Media Mystic group. I was offered a bursary by an American mediumship group to read tarot cards on their site, but all the time I was asking questions of other people's angelic experiences. So it healed me, and it gave me a lot of strength, because I was suddenly very aware that we're not alone on this earth. We're truly not alone.
Oh no.
there's other entities that are walking with us, and there's a lot of angelic, which I basically thought, well, there's only one entity that can send something like that, and that's God. You know, God is the universe, everything all around us. He's the creator. So if God can send that, then the devil has more than likely got its entities that it can send. Because I've had other experiences, other experiences that had me thinking, whoa, is this man playing silly buggers, or is this a real entity that, you know, that I have, that I've heard, that I've listened to, but I ignored it because I didn't want this entity to even know that I'd heard it. And because if it was man-made and they were trying to scare me, the last thing I wanted to do was have any fear and let them know that I was afraid. But at the same time, I don't know whether it was a man-made voice entity that they purposely did just to try and frighten me or scare me, because some people like to play tricks like that, or whether this was truly an evil entity that I had just witnessed and overheard, like the angelic experience that I had. Nobody else in that cathedral saw it or heard it, because I remember looking around in such amazement and to see if anybody else was looking as shocked and in awe as I was, because of what I'd just seen and what I just heard. But I truly believe that was just for me, my eyes only, my ears only. And as for this demonic voice that I heard,
it wouldn't be demonic, but I cut now. Pink Planet, please correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to misinterpret what Pink Planet has said. But on a previous chat, now again, I'm not misquoting you, I hope, and I apologise if I am. Am I right in saying that there are 2/3 are angels and 1/3 are demons? And I hope I haven't misquoted you then. Yeah. And again, please come back if I've...
no, I think you quoted correctly. I think I recall that comment going into the chat room as well.
Yeah. But the thing with, I mean, you've probably heard my, I suppose you could call it angelic experiences. And there's the one with the fairy music, which would you say that, I mean, with this fairy music that I heard when I was in my car, first of all, I thought it was the wind coming through my window of my car.
Yes, the brain is logical, isn't it?
That's right. And I even got out of the car, stopped the engine, and this was on a beautifully moonlit night around New Year's Eve time, between Christmas and New Year, and walked away from the car. And this was up near Ashwell in Morden, near Royston, near the A505 road. So it was on the border of Cambridgeshire, Hertfordshire. Well, it's on several borders there, Essex and that. And I could still hear the music. So it wasn't my car. And but if I'd have got a tape recorder or a recorder and recorded it, it wouldn't have recorded. It was sort of, and was it the same with the music? If you would have recorded it, it wouldn't have come out. And
no,
but it was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. It was. I've never heard anything quite like it.
I have. Have you researched this sort of music then? Have you heard it anywhere else?
I haven't. I only heard it on that one time. And I guess you've heard the one where I met myself. Did you ever hear me telling you?
Yes, yeah. That sounds amazing as well.
And someone said that was your guardian angel.
Yeah.
Looking like you, so you wouldn't be frightened. And I think that was quite a good explanation. But
the Bible.
Well, what got me after I actually saw that person who said, as they walked past, I always remember winked and said, "Don't worry, it'll pass." My third eye was, something was going into it. Something went into it, and the problem was solved.
Could be a
There's
download.
so much more going on. Yeah, downloads.
Yeah. You're going to say
that's what we're all going through at the moment. You know, I mean, I was saying earlier on to you, Chris, I was feeling a bit low. I don't normally get like this. At the moment, I'm feeling a bit low or run down or whatever it is. But I don't know if it's a demon that's got me or what it is, but it ain't gonna stay. It'll be leaving. But
No.
yeah,
And it just takes one person to say the right thing, Paul, at the right time, and it's gone. And it's like
Yeah,
somebody has sent that person to say the right thing at the right time,
yeah,
just for
that's
you.
right.
which is why I think a lot of the time I've said before on here that with us all in the awake community, if that's what we classify ourselves as, that we're dotted around the country and across the world in specific locations, and we're here for a reason.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
I still think it's when the normies finally start waking up and realizing everything they've been told is a pack of lies, they're going to find that hard to deal with. And I think we're dotted around where we are to help pick the people up when they do suddenly
yeah,
realize
yeah.
that everything they've been told is a lie. I think otherwise we could all be in one town or all in one city, but we're not. We're all. I mean, you
mm,
look across the truth. I know you don't like to use the term truth community, but that's what I see us all a part of. And we're all across everywhere, aren't we? Every country, every
Hmm.
town, every city's got them, and so we're here for a purpose, and we are more than just what we think. I think we're very powerful
Yeah.
individuals, all of us. I
And
really
what a
do.
time to be alive.
oh, it
This
is
Yeah.
is
the
whenever
best and
I'm
the
feeling
worst.
that. Yeah, when I'm feeling a little bit low, I remind myself, what a time to be alive. I mean,
Mm,
I was chatting to DJ earlier, or DJ B2,
DJB
and
too.
he was saying he'd been in a horrific car accident where he'd flipped the car, and he knows that he's being looked after because he should have died in that. And so there's I've heard of other people talking of experiences like that, and when you know that you should have, the worst thing could have happened but it didn't, something somewhere somehow managed to save you and bring you out of that.
I'm
There's
optimistic.
got to be, yeah,
I'm very
absolutely. It's
optimistic, and because
always been.
something will turn up that we least expect. And when you look through
Yeah,
history, this tends to happen. I mean, who would have thought that for example, the Berlin Wall would have come down beforehand, a
yeah,
year or two beforehand?
yeah,
But now, Pink Planet, this could be, I think, it could be taken the wrong way, and I'm sure it won't. Has Matilda had a good experience with men ever?
yes, I have. The fellow that broke my heart, he
I
was such a he was such a gentleman. He was a true gentleman, and he really cared. And so when we did actually split, that's why it broke my heart so badly, because he was the first gentleman, true gent, that I'd ever met in my life, who treated me as if he thought I was made of glass. He treated me, I was so precious. And but the thing was, he was in the military, and I didn't get to see him very often. And every time I saw him, I felt like I was starting again from the beginning and getting to know him, which it just took time, and that time wasn't long. It took too long for him.
Mm.
He needed something a lot quicker, and I needed to get to know him because of my bad experiences. And I mean, not want to go into too much detail, but I was abused as a kid as well. So
Oh
I'd,
no!
I'd
Oh, I'm
already got,
so sorry about this, Angie.
yeah, well, like you say, shit happens, doesn't it? But it's like I've already had that childhood
Mm.
trauma growing up with, and being able to trust. I was actually very trusting and very giving. And as 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4-7, it basically says all the things that love is. And love is patient, love is kind, love never hurts anybody, love isn't boastful. And those were all the things I tried to live by. And you can't treat everybody the same just because you've been hurt, because somebody else may well have been hurt. And if you're going to hurt people, hurt people.
Well,
So I
that's
don't
it.
want to be
Mm.
like that. I want to
Like
be that
attracts like,
trusting.
but also
Yes.
the negative that you went through. I mean, there's all different types of abuse. There's sexual abuse, there's physical
Yeah.
abuse, and there's psychological abuse. I was subjected to a form of
Mm.
psychological abuse, which is very different. But they all give us wisdom. and I think that it's done for a reason. I don't want to sound harsh like this, but you can. I once saw a book, and it's quite amazing. It was a psychiatrist wrote it, and he was actually in the American submarine corps during World War II, and he was depth charged for 48 hours. They couldn't surface by Japanese ships,
Wow.
and they knew if they was to surface, they'd be dead because they didn't
Yeah.
take prisoners. And he said some of the men went delirious, some of them their hair went white and I think his hair went white. And he said he became a psychiatrist. He said when he met people with what they used to call shell shock, but now called post traumatic stress disorder, he said
Yeah.
they would say, look, they'd look at him and say, "Oh, you're just a psychiatrist. You don't understand." And he said, "I could look them straight in the eye, say, I do understand
No.
because I've been there.
Yeah.
I've seen it."
And that's yeah.
And
I
that's the
find
thing
it.
we can do. Not necessarily in those
Yeah.
situations, but I think that um, it's part of the University of Life, an extra qualification, the University of Life. But as an empath,
It is.
you will attract narcissists like bees around a honeypot.
I know because they just like nice, gentle people, don't they? That they can walk all over.
Yeah, and
I
also
consider myself to be an empath, and I find that I take on other people's feelings, and
that's it.
I don't know if that's also part of where we are in the world. That the
You
people,
need to, yeah, you need to learn to ground
people's.
yourself, Paul.
Yeah,
I've got a grounding sheet on me bed. I do try and ground every night.
Yeah,
Well, I do ground every night.
no, but I mean, I
yeah.
think
Go to
I'm
bed.
sure you
grounding
do.
people. But I think you meant that in a different way, didn't you?
Well,
Tilda?
yeah, because by taking other people's feelings and everything, you're absorbing that, Paul, which isn't good for your energy. What you need to be able to do is almost have like a shield up. So, I mean, how I used to ground myself was I would imagine myself go into a meditative state with your breathing, focus on your breathing and everything. And I would imagine that a big root would come out of my feet and it would actually encircle around the core of the earth, thereby locking myself into the core of the earth as grounding, and then having this shield put up around me so that way I can't absorb anybody else's feelings or emotions. I can listen, I can be empathic, and I can put myself in their shoes, and so as I can understand or try and understand where they're coming from, because as Eric's already pointed out, if unless you've walked in somebody's shoes, you can't really help anybody, can you?
Well, that's it.
But
That-
but grounding is very important, so as you don't absorb other people's
yeah.
emotions, because you're important in yourself, Paul, your feelings, your emotions. So you've got to know thyself and know that you're not taking on anybody else's baggage, otherwise it's just going to weigh you
Yeah.
down.
You're spot on there, Matilda. And I'm hoping to get Jeremy Owinski on the next couple of weeks with Helen. That you're welcome to come on because I don't.
Oh, that'll be good.
Have you seen the one with Jeremy Owinski at all?
I did see one, yeah, and with Helen as well.
Helen. And the thing is with anything that when you've got demonic things around, they're everywhere. And you got, and I actually do believe that all government is demonic, and an MP may not be demonic when he goes there, but they soon will become. You notice them changing.
Yeah.
But now, Pink Planet says Miles. He is the Fockham health minister. No, he's a natural medicine. He does acupuncture and that. I'd like to say he's my doctor in many ways. Had a car which someone had died in. And one day he heard a voice saying, slow down, when he was driving fast. That's an interesting one. Well, I know that when I was at school, we had a teacher who was Welsh. And she told us this story because, at the end of term, you have a time when you can sort of, I don't know, be a bit leisurely or something. And she said that she had, I'm not sure what relative, whether it was a cousin or uncle, somebody. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But this relative drove like a maniac round the Welsh mountains home. And one day he was driving along on his motorbike and the steering kept turning round and he's pushing with all his might and the steering kept going round. He just could not get this motorbike to go straight. And he tried and tried and tried. But when he went the opposite way, the steering was okay. But when he went forward, it wouldn't work. So he had to go halfway around Will's mother's to get home. And next day, he found out there'd been a rock fall on that road and he would have been killed.
Wow.
But,
Wow.
and I mean, I guess you've also heard the one about the Argentina one. Have you heard that one?
No, don't think so.
Well, I think people. I've said this before on the show. It's quite an amazing, and it's a true story. When my sister first started work, she used to work for a firm called John Tan Safes, and they made safes and that. And she was it's a job now that is non-existent. She was a tracer, and the designers used to draw it, sketch things out, and she used to make the drawings look all nice and pretty and that, presentable. And one lunch hour, she was going out, and there was a German girl that used to work there, or German origin, and she had loads of papers and things and that. And she said, "Oh, she got talking to her, and this German girl came out with a marvelous story. I mean, have you heard it before, or
no, I've not heard it.
Well,
yeah.
Anyway, she said she was actually in Berlin in 1945 when the Russians were surrounding the city at the end of World War II. And they thought the Russians were a long way off. They could hear gunfire in the distance. And she went out to do an errand for her mother. And she went, as she was away, going to a shop or wherever it was, she was going doing the errand. There was a massive bombardment and the Russians had made a breakthrough. And when she got back to her house, it was just a smouldering flat, bomb flat. And there was some retreating German troops who saw the girl there, and they knew what the Russians were doing to women and children, and they took her under their wing, and they were going to surrender to the Americans, but they didn't. They surrendered to the English or the British, and this girl, somehow got back to went to an orphanage in this country, and she ended up in a flat in London, and she worked for this John Tans. Well, when she was in this flat, when she was a child, she kept thinking of Argentina all the time. And in those days, I was talking about the 1960s. My sister's much older than me, and this girl rather, she saved up all her money, and it was very expensive in those days. I don't know whether she flew or sailed, but anyway, she got to Argentina, and when she got there, she was in the hotel, and she thought, "What am I doing here?" She got really depressed. I've spent all this money to get here. What am I doing here? This is just ridiculous. And she got so depressed, she went outside, and there was these fountains where there were seats around them and like fish ponds and things like that. And she sat there with her hands in her head, and she thought, "What am I doing here?" Almost crying. And a woman come and sat next to her. It was her mother.
Oh, I just had goosebumps.
You didn't expect that, did you? And that's true. And the papers she was going through was to get her mother to England.
That is a beautiful story. Wow, fancy. Of all the odds of that happening.
Yeah, that was beyond odds. That really was beyond odds. And you know that the ship's cat on the Titanic, before it set sail, had given birth to kittens, and one by one, she walked down the gangplank and took
them
all
off.
the kittens off, and then came off herself. And the bloke who looked after the cat didn't want to leave the cat, so stayed with the cat, saved his life.
And didn't go on. Yeah. That's like the stories you hear about 9/11, some of the people that didn't go into work that day, etc., isn't there?
Well, the bloke who did the fiddle, the insurance fiddle, didn't go into work because I think he knew.
No, yeah, but there's a few innocent people that didn't hear, isn't there?
Yes. Oh, hang on. We're saying goodbye to Food for Thought Radio. So if you could just bear with me a couple of minutes, and It's very nice. Yes.
He's the leader of the village choir, and his voice is warm and mellow. He drives a fruit cart around the street, and everybody knows it. He doesn't sing or rave about his fruit, he simply blows it.
My favourite bit coming up.
He's doing it all day long. It's better than any song. Though it isn't very pretty, you've got to admit it's cute. So all together let it go. Eat more fruit.
You have been listening to Fockham Hall with Eric von Essex. Remember, whatever you do, have a bloody good laugh.
And good night, Food for Thought Radio.
Want to taste the difference that...
No, not really. But we say good night to Food for Thought Radio, but we're still broadcasting on Rumble, YouTube, Holylandradio, Holyland FM, and there's Americans in their cars listening to us. So, hello, America. So there we go, in Wisconsin. So there we are. Now, you mentioned that you're in Suffolk. Did you ever go and see the Bowler Hat Farmer in Suffolk when he had that?
I did. I was ever so excited. Yeah, I met him and his beautiful wife as well. Yeah.
That's right. And we must have brushed shoulders. We must have been like ships passing in the night because I went there. But,
did you?
People said, were you there? I said, yeah. But the thing is, when I'm in a crowd, I'm very quiet. So I was...
I was quiet. I got there ever so early, but and ended up chatting to a lady and swapping phone numbers with her, and we're now on WhatsApp. She sends lots of stuff through to me, which I then pass on. I think she's a big Facebook fan. She's always sending me stuff on from Facebook. But it was really good. Wow, what a night! He was very informative and so passionate.
This was a day in one of his fields.
Oh no, this was an evening in a pub.
I wasn't there. No. Oh, I see. Yes, he gets around a bit. I was hoping to go to this thing. There's one coming up, I think, in Hertfordshire sometime. Although I think I might have missed it. Who knows? But now let's see if there's any further questions. Chat for him.
I was going to say, just while we're on talking about angels and demons.
Yeah.
We came back from Chester on Saturday, and the train I was on was pretty full. And the chap that was standing room only, and where I was stood, the chap that was stood next to me, he got a T-shirt on. It was basically something along the lines of satanic, and he got an upside down cross on it, and he looked really, really unwell. And I wonder if maybe even a T-shirt with a demonic picture on it, could that potentially transfer the demons to those around?
Yes.
Well, imagine what his home looks like.
There was also a group of football muppets around me, and they were vaping, and I had to ask them to stop vaping, and they still did, and they still carried on and drinking. So it makes you wonder if they're part of these people or part of, like, if they're demons. I don't know. It's just very odd.
Demons are very...
That's weird.
They're very devious and they're very clever. And before I found out about this, I won't go into the details. You know, a demon got into my family and wreaked havoc. And I think there's a link between Freemasonry and demonic stuff, but that's my own belief. And I've got very little evidence for it, but it just seems a bit funny with what I've sort of seen. I've had nothing to do with Freemasonry, I assure you, but I think they open portals that let in all manner of things. Yes. So this is the thing. And it's demons wreaked havoc. And my sister and mother got infected. And they infect people. And they can also put things on you which make you attract certain things and certain people. And I was attracting a certain type of person all the time, boozers, because that's why they call it spirits, because booze is demon, and it makes you. There was a Mark Windows was saying that someone died on an operating theatre, table rather, and as they drifted up, they went over a pub and they noticed demons queuing up, waiting for people to get drunk, And then suddenly they got the old heart thing on him, and he was jerked back straight into his body.
I can believe it.
That's it. But do you find you go to places and you go, oh, and there's certain things, like I've been to Shaw's Corner, which was where George Bernard Shaw lived. I couldn't wait to get out of the place.
Yeah.
It was not nice. And George Bernard Shaw was not a nice person. He was a Fabian. A very
Do you think
unpleasant
certain
type.
places, certain towns, and certain cities have certain energies? 'Cause
But
if I go
it
up
depends
to,
on the
which
people,
is
doesn't it?
about 5 minutes on the train from here, and I find it a completely different air than here, where I am. If I go up to Birmingham, I can Birmingham myself, but the surrounding areas, and it's fine. But you go into Birmingham city centre, and it's got something about it. It just never feels quite right.
Dark.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, it's.
I'm like that with London. I hate London. I don't like using the word hate. I used to work there, but I can't stand the place. And my cousin, before the M25, he used to drive round it. He can't stand London either. And when I was a child, my parents used to take me up to London, and I used to have about 3 or 4 days of chronic depression because of it. I just couldn't handle it. It's something about it, and it's just.
I don't like
I,
London.
I don't like cities. I don't like. People have
I
often
don't
said.
like cities.
No,
But I've got to say, with you mentioning of Lincoln earlier, Lincoln has a very nice vibe about it, and I know the cathedral's absolutely vast there. It makes me wonder if these
Oh, it's
places
beautiful.
are. I suspect you came away from Lincoln feeling healed. It makes me wonder if these places
Something.
are vastly important.
Something I kind of researched after I'd had this experience, because I didn't know anything about churches or cathedrals. I just wanted to go there because I was born there and I'd never been there. So I found out later on when I looked up the floor plan of the cathedral, but where I was standing is in an area called the Choir of Angels, which absolutely blew me away, the sheer fact that I heard a choir of angels, and that's exactly where I was standing. And I also found out 2 years later, Tom Hanks was there filming for Angels and Demons. They wanted to film in Westminster Abbey, but they wouldn't give them permission. And Lincoln Cathedral, I think, is supposed to be the sister cathedral to Westminster Abbey. So Lincoln gave them permission to actually film in there, and it was meant to be Westminster Abbey. And that's about all the research I found out.
Well, when you
That's
think about the
interesting.
significance of the name Lincoln as well, obviously, I know we got Abraham Lincoln, you got
Abraham
Lincoln Vic,
Lincoln, yeah.
you got the Lincoln Memorial. Obviously, the name Lincoln means something in their world, or in our world. Maybe
Lincoln's
it's
in
very
Fields,
important
but
in our world.
And apparently it's on the ley line as well.
yes, there
Because
is one that goes
Lincoln's
through Royston.
nowhere near anywhere else. Lincoln's pretty much on its own, it's pretty much away from anywhere else within quite some distance, really. Lincoln as a
Because
city.
I wondered why, why did the angel come there? Had it got anything to do with the pyramids and and the location of the pyramids and the height of those to the height of the Lincoln Cathedral or something, as in the energy frequency that I experienced?
But do you find if you come up against someone with negative energy, you jump back? It's oh bloody hell! And there are some people that are like that carry this negative energy. And
Yeah.
Pink Planet has asked a question and has said, "Does Matilda have a lot of coincidences?"
Oh yes, I do. I love them. I don't believe in coincidences, so therefore, it's like serendipitous moments where two things at the same time will come. I wrote a journal. I was writing it all down because I just couldn't believe what was happening, and it was on a daily occurrence as well. So this journal is just pages and pages of these so-called coincidences, which aren't really coincidences. I've got really funny things, like I drove into a garage once in my car, and on my music I had nursery rhymes, children's nursery rhymes, and the song that was playing was "Oh dear, what can the matter be?" And just at that moment, there's this gentleman walking in front of my car who looked at me and scowled. And I don't know why. I was getting out of my car to fill my car up with fuel. And then suddenly the chap from inside the shop put his head outside the door and shouted at this fella, "You've got to put the nozzle back in." And I thought to myself, just as the lyrics were, "Oh dear, what can the matter be?" this poor man walks in front, and it turns out he can't pay for the fuel because he's not put the nozzle back on right. Well, that was what the matter was, wasn't it?
That's right. Or was it, "Oh dear, what can the matter be? Poor old mum's been stuck in a lavatory." Sorry,
Lavatory, yeah.
that's right.
But I've got that many incidences where it's a coincidence, where the music's been playing and then I was listening to Food Glorious Food, and the next lyric was "What more could I ask for?" And just as the lyrics came out of the car stereo, this van came round the corner and it said "Claret" on the side, and I thought, oh, a nice glass of claret would go nice with some food. So I've had so many, like, divine timing rather than coincidences. It's like divine timing.
I know what
I
you
think
mean.
I think a lot of mine comes down. I do a lot of numerology and gematria and so on, and definitely there's no coincidence with that where that's concerned either. But
No.
I certainly see certain numbers. So at the moment, I keep seeing the number 222. So I went out on Saturday, and between the photographs I've taken on Thursday and the amount of photographs I've taken on Saturday, when I downloaded them, it was actually a combination of 222. Tonight I popped into Marks and Spencer to go and get a couple of things, and they got the freezers in situ there, and it said minus 22.2 or 22. It was 222. I thought, for God's sake, it's there again.
Wow.
And I keep
Again.
seeing these numbers randomly appear. 88 was a common one for a while, and at the moment it's 222. I keep seeing.
Now, 222 in angel numbers means you've actually getting a message from your angel, from your guardian angel. That's what 222 is in angelic gematria. No, you have to figure that out. I couldn't tell you.
Now, Pink Planet has said, yeah. Well, first of all, Blu-ray has said, yes, because of the ley lines to Birmingham is particularly bad. I know that Royston in Hertfordshire, I think there's which is rare, where ley lines cross. There's one that goes up to Lincoln. I think, not looking at the map, and I could have got this wrong. I think that goes up to Lincoln, that one lay, and the other one goes across, and that comes from Stonehenge area, or that sort of area. But now Pink Planet says...
Can I just put a question there then?
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick question then. That ley line from Royston to Waltham Abbey to Lincoln Cathedral.
I don't know. I'd have to check that one out.
Because obviously that's quite a vast. You've got the likes of Wells, which are a vast cathedral. I wonder if these cathedrals are actually on the ley line via that network.
Yeah.
Well, Pink Planet says, Blu-ray, please explain ley lines. Well, there's ley lines and energy lines, and they're two different things. An energy line is a spiritual thing, and a ley line was an ancient mapping system. They're separate. So if you look at the book, was it The Old Straight Track by some bloke, I can't remember his name now. That was written in the 1920s. He looked at it as the mapping system, but then they went into it, and the ley line, there is an energy. So the two are fudged with each other, but there isn't. There's an energy line and a ley line, which are two different things. Line. And these are spiritual lines because there is a belief that cathedrals were actually healing centers. Because when you look at it, the furniture looks out of place. It doesn't look quite right. Whereas you look at, for example, the pyramids, they believe were healing centers as well. Because you get the correct sort of resonance. And why did they take all the bells out of the cathedrals and churches? Healing. It had a setup
Yeah.
and sound that so that's it.
it was like on Saturday. I went to Chester on Saturday. It was actually for a couple of rail tours, which have got some ancient diesels on, and just hearing those powering away was enough to send shivers down me because the resonation or the vibration off them was such a low thud, if that makes sense. So again, I think that's why there's such an attraction with them, for me personally, because it's like the vibrations you get off bells, and it's it's hard to explain, but it's very hard to
Well,
explain.
I've looked up Waltham Abbey. So I didn't mean to cut in there. It says here,
Anyway,
Waltham Abbey this is what it says on Google. Waltham Abbey is often associated with mythical alignments in alternative folklore, specifically because the real Greenwich Meridian line passes directly through. Yes, I walk over the Meridian line. They've got it through there. Passes directly through the heart of the town, which some esoteric researchers and dowsers refer to as an energetic axis. So that's a sort of an answer. And it's in Sun Street. That's right. That's where Miles has got his shop. And hang on, local law. Dowsers and alternative historians have proposed alignments connecting Waltham Abbey northwards through sites like Royston and down towards the south coast along the Meridian axis. So there is every possibility it is.
Could be linked, yeah.
So you got Royston, because I did say Royston was linked with Lincoln, so it will go straight through. I'll look on the map when we finish the show.
Wow.
I mean, I might be, but I know that's where they cross. And my sister and brother-in-law, which the least said about them, the better, they lived in Royston. And apparently the Romans, there's 2 Roman roads that crossed as well, used to bury their dead on the side of roads and at crossroads in particular, and they reckoned that their house was haunted. Yeah, I kind of like their house, but I didn't find anything spooky about it. But that doesn't surprise me because I think that
they have the chariot parked outside.
Oh bloody hell! Yeah, I mean, I think they're demonically possessed. But there we go. But now, Pink Planet says, "How old is that cathedral?" That is just one
I didn't
moment. I'll
even
look
look
it up.
into that.
Just one moment.
Lincoln Cathedral. I'll have a look.
Yeah. That's something I didn't even think of looking up. Wow. The architecture. Oh, here we go.
It's brilliant, isn't it? And do you think the people that worked on it never saw the finished product? It took so long.
I know.
I think you'll get
1072, apparently.
Wow. And how comes they did it all by hand? No machines. All that carving and things like that. All by hand.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And this is what we've lost, I think, in this country. Everything is money, money, money. And this is what gets me about architecture. It's not architecture anymore. It's just because first thing we learned when I went to college to learn it was the lecturer said architecture works on your subconscious, and they found when they've chopped trees down in leafy places, the vandalism goes through the roof. To put trees in, the vandalism goes down. Weird. So there's something psychology in our
soothing.
That's right. That's right.
It's very soothing. I mean, I loved hugging trees. I love hugging a tree.
Oh yeah. Except for rose trees. I don't
Yeah. Anything with thorns on. Yeah.
But
again, I wonder what if there's a reason why they have the thorns on them.
I don't know.
Just stop you from hugging them.
Well, I don't know. I sort of hugged
their
them.
world.
Well, I did hug her as a child because my sister threw me head first into a load of rose bush once. Because she loved me so much, I don't think.
Apparently, Elton John's quite a fan of rose bushes.
Yes, I heard he likes to get up occasionally. Yes, we don't say yes. But it's like the old thing on the radio, on BBC Radio in the 50s. And this actually was broadcast live. And they used to have gardening session with the Reverend Percy, whatever it was, and 2 elderly ladies. And before he actually went on the radio, which was live in those days, he'd actually impaled his finger onto a rose thorn. And live on the radio, they said, "How's your prick thing, Vicar?" And he said, it's still throbbing. And working class people were absolutely rolled up with laughter. They couldn't pull the plugs out, so they left it in. And yeah, it's all very innocent. But the thing is that with, do you find though that with Lincoln itself, there are some strange areas there, very odd areas, because
There's odd areas in every area.
yes,
Isn't there?
well there is. But
Yeah.
I know, I mean, I've found that there are certain places in. I mean, I'm not a flat country person myself. I like undulating country, and I've always been drawn towards Cornwall and Devon. I feel that my
beautiful.
home. When I was a child, we used to go on holiday there, and I used to say, "I'm going home," and I used to actually almost sob when we go leaving there, and I used to really miss it when we came home. I didn't want to go home. I felt I was home there, and I've always felt like moving down there, but it costs an arm and a leg to move there now, doesn't it?
It
When you
does.
think about it, just going back to the Lincoln thing, when I said before, it's Lincoln's pretty much on its own where it's located,
Mm.
and I know there are some towns like Gainsborough and stuff within, they're sort of fairly close by, but it isn't overly popular. Lincolnshire as a county isn't overly populated, and you've got Skegness, which is miles from anywhere. Obviously, I presume they don't want
Yeah.
anyone going there. It is.
I
It is
holiday
very
all the time there.
What's this?
skeggy.
Yeah, as a
Oh,
kid,
Skeggy.
that's where I holidayed all
Really?
because my both parents were in the military and they were stationed in that area.
Really?
So Skeggy was always a holiday destination.
And I bet you know. Do you know what a donkey is? Not as in a.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's good because I worked with someone from up where you come from. And he said, "Oh, I'm going to have donkey now." What? Have a donkey? I think it was a donkey. And we found out it's a bread in it, and they take the innards out and put all the stuff inside.
Put all the stuff in. Oh, it's lovely. It's very nice.
Yes.
I
Now,
still have it now.
really, and it's proper bread. Alice Gorgeous, I manifested a pair of Wilkinson Salt garden shears this afternoon. They've got extended handles, brand new, given to me, and him here. Oh, that's nice. Oh, well, that's it. But have you ever thought?
Result.
That's right. Now, for example, my bikes. I'm a keen cyclist, as you probably know, and I've only paid for 2 bikes in my life. The rest have been given to me.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah, I've always been given bikes. My neighbours give me bikes. Strange, Well, no, I don't know. Like, it's often very strange the way things turn out. Do you often think of someone and you get a letter from them a couple of days later?
I've thought of somebody really, really hard and purposely thought about that person, and they've rung me within the hour.
Yes. You put your hand on the phone. Years ago, when we had ring phones, and it rings. You pick it up and you think, "That's strange. I've just been thinking about you." That often.
I
happens.
love that. Yeah.
And also, do you also get a feeling of atmosphere as well about places? You think the mood of a country will change, the atmosphere will change, and
Well, sometimes my heart goes cold, and literally my heart just feels ice cold, and I can be in a room of people dancing and having a good time, but for some reason there's somebody in that room that I can sense that makes my heart go cold. And it then just puts me on edge because I don't know who it is. I don't know where it's coming from. But so that's kind of atmospheric. Although it's been a good party and everybody's dancing, having a good time. The reason why my heart goes cold when I enter into, I don't know this. I always figure there's somebody in there that's not so nice.
Well, a certain person who entered into my family can actually look at you without blinking for ages. Just it's spooky. It really is.
Yeah, that is spooky.
Weird, yeah.
And I used to play a
Freaky.
game at Christmas time My dad and I used to play a game called "I Bet I Can Outstare You, You Bastard," and you wouldn't do it. If he wants to talk, you talk. And if he doesn't want to talk, he doesn't talk. He just stands, just stares right through you. No blinking at all. It isn't really human. But I'm talking about my brother.
It's really hard.
Well,
I've tried doing those staring. Yeah, I can't do it. I lose at them games.
There's a presence though. Like when he walked into a room, everybody would be sitting down. He's like, "Oh, there's a seat for you." No, I prefer to stand. And he does that so that people feel uncomfortable. Oh, please sit down. No, I prefer to stand. He does that deliberately because he knows that people will feel uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, it's making us feel uneasy. I prefer to stand. And that was it. That's what you get.
That's so sad, isn't it? That's so sad that you get people like that.
I actually think that everybody's good. It's taken over them because I think you could find good points with these people, but this demon is starting to eat away at their soul, and that is the problem. You just got to say, Paul. Sorry, mate.
We're coming back. We're coming back on the train on Saturday. There was a girl who got on a Chester who had a bad time of it, and there was my ex-partner and so on. We were also on this train, and as we were approaching Shrewsbury, the guard came down and asked her for it, and she'd lost the ticket. So he said, "Well, you'll have to pay when you go to the barrier." And I thought, no, I can't do this. She seemed to have a bit of a shit time for some. I got all my tickets from there because I'd split the journey up. I said that'll get you out of the station. Really grateful. She said, "Oh, thank you for that. It's really nice, isn't it?" And sometimes you just feel like you want to help someone. You get sometimes you think, no, I can't be asked, but others sometimes you get that moment. You think,
that's right.
I think you've had a bit of a shit time of it. This little act of kindness might just give you a bit of realize that not everybody out there is an asshole. Some of us are actually decent people.
But you also have to be aware, Paul, that because you do take on so much, you can get conned easily as well.
Oh yes.
Yes.
And that's the difficult line to draw, isn't it? You want to do the right thing and do the good thing, but are you being conned? And does it really matter if you are being conned? Do you care?
Well, I have a neighbour.
Still do the right thing.
As a neighbour, and I helped this neighbour when they had bereavements, and helped them considerably, and then they became very narcissistic, and they do that. And I noticed this neighbour does this to other people. People that help them, they're narcissistic too, and I think it's so they don't feel awkward about the person helping them. So what they do, they're just very rude to them and offensive to them.
Yeah. So then they don't have to thank them.
Yeah, they don't have to thank them. No thanks. No, nothing like that. And this is the problem. I think there are a lot of users in this world, and this is another thing for you, an empath. You will be targeted by a user, and they use an emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
Oh, please do this. Oh, I don't know what to do. I think I got. I really. And that's it. They'll pull at your heartstrings, and that's something. Now I've got wise to it. I go, oh yes, sad, isn't it? And that you'd feel awkward afterwards. They do it deliberately.
So that's what they do with the news and stuff like that, and all these adverts. I mean, I don't watch telly. I haven't done for years, but the adverts they put on for like charities, water aid and donkey sanctuaries, and help save this leopard and stuff like that. It's always, we'll give you a cuddly toy and that sort of crap, and it's to play on your emotions in it. And then people fall for it, and they'll say, well, and twice a year the leopard will write you a letter. You think, that's a really clever leopard. This is it. How the hell is it becoming extinct if it's that clever?
But
and it does work though, doesn't it? It does actually have people then putting their hands in the pocket.
Well, truth over
music.
Sorry, mate.
As well. Music does the same. That you can hear a piece of. Obviously, we know that pop music and stuff is there to lower how we feel, and you can hear a piece of music today, and that'll stay with you for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. And it can take a long time to get that out of your head before, and obviously the chorus is there to. It's usually the chorus that they get you
hook you in. Yeah.
And it's
yes.
And it's usually something negative. Like when it's it'll be I am this, I am that, I am the other, and it's always something negative on the end of it.
Oh, I don't know. My first song, my go-to to always get on my own nerves is "I got do do do,"
Oh, that's
and
good.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Thanks for
gonna
that
then play.
I'll tell you the one that gets me. For the last 2 weeks, it's been driving. And I don't particularly like the tune. It's Elaine Page in Cats. Was it? I don't know what the name of the bleeding tune is.
Can you sing
Midnight.
it?
Da, 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 da,
Oh,
da,
yeah, yeah,
What is
yeah.
that one? I don't really like the tune. And it's been dry. I wake up with it on my mind every morning. Is that trying to tell me something?
Not a sound from the pavement, isn't it? I'm not going to sing it. Midnight,
Yeah.
not a sound from the pavement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I
is
know
that?
the one.
What is that trying to tell me? Because I can't get it off. It's stuck like bloody chewing gum to the side of my brain. I can't get rid of it. And
You got us all at it now.
yeah.
Well,
Now,
so
true.
when I've been at work, there's certain things like I remember playing about a month ago, 2 months ago, the theme to Bread. Do you remember the TV series Bread?
Oh, I love
Gotta get
that.
up,
Yeah.
darling. And I played it once on the phone. We were just talking about it at work. I said, "Oh, do you remember this?" And I played it. and my manager, he was singing this for weeks on end, and then periodically would say, "I had to go to Sainsbury's last night. I needed to get some bread." And start it off again.
Oh, it's awful when you get that. But why Elaine Page? I don't really like the record. It just drives me up the bloody wall. I've had this for 2 weeks. I wake up every morning as bleeding Elaine Page. I don't want.
You
As
know,
I say, I don't like musicals, and I'm not that keen on Elaine Page either. Why that one? I do not
What
know.
a song. Yeah. There's got to be a hidden
you know,
meaning in there, Eric.
Yeah, there's got to be
you know the piece
somewhere.
of music you need to listen to then, if you want to get rid of that and have something positive, play the theme tune to Blockbusters, because that's probably one of the most motivational pieces of music you can hear.
Really?
Yeah, I'll have a pee, please, Bob.
Yes. Oh, crumbs. And I tell you what I do like though is I can't get this on my mind. That is the Gladiator. That film. That was really good music. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Hans Zimmer. And I've
Hans
seen
Zimmer,
the remake, a part of it on YouTube. It would have to improve to be rated as crap. Seriously, the remake.
Oh, dear.
I'd say that I think they grabbed everybody from amateur dramatics and said, right, who's the worst actor and actress? Right, let's get them on there. It's pathetic. It's beyond pathetic, the remake. But now, Truth Over Lies 1820 said, honestly, the amount of times I've written something like a particular number and it's mentioned on the radio at exactly the same time. It's spooky, but I love it. Yes, I've had that. Where you think of something and they mention it.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Exo were going through that a little while back. We were wondering whether or not it was a live stream that we were listening to because we were talking about things and then suddenly the presenter started saying something and it was like, whoa, it was all a little bit spooky.
Well, I'll tell you something that's getting me now, and it really is getting me. Like, for example, I need a battery for my car. And I was thinking, must get a battery in my car because, it was a bit dicky. Got on the internet that night. What comes up? Car batteries. Bing, ding, ding, ding.
Is it though? Yeah. Or is it the phone hearing what you're wanting and then, like they're saying, that's putting adverts on that's related to your thoughts? Because that's the whole thing going on at the moment, isn't there? People are talking about exactly what you're saying, you know, which is intrusive and data protection issue.
But I hadn't spoken to anybody. I mean, the only person...
it can be not necessarily talked about. It can even be just something you thought about.
Yeah.
And it turns up.
Yeah.
And that's even more concerning.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I've often thought about a Rack Old Welsh lookalike knocking at my door, but it hasn't happened.
You got to think about it a bit more.
Tapping on the window, you know.
I've just had an advert come through about Raquel Welsh lookalikes.
Ah, yes.
I'll send you the link.
But with a car battery, I mean, the only thing I was talking to was Fred the plant just there. and the pigeon that I feed. And that's about it, really. So I don't think the pigeon would have passed it on about my car battery. And I was thinking about it. I didn't even say anything to him. So there we go. But now Pink Planet said divine timing is good way of putting it. It is string theory, so we linked together.
Yeah.
Like attracts like. And I've found if you're having a bad time, this is why Tesla said you change your frequency. Now, I sometimes walk down to the supermarket, have an exciting life, and I just want a bit of exercise. And when I was coming back, I thought, oh, I feel bloody tired. I just, I could do without this. I wish I would have gone by a car, I was walking along. And there was a lady, I just think she's sort of like a West Indian type lady, and a gent coming towards me. And I stood back because it's sort of like a narrow sort of lane. I stood back to let them walk past on the pavement. And this beaming smile came to this woman. She's, oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you. That really cheered me up. And it changed my frequency.
Your whole day. Yeah.
Yeah. And I sort of walked back and I thought, oh, I didn't feel so tired then. I felt a lot better because someone just smiled and said something nice. So it is true about changing frequency. And this is how we do things, but now
It'll always be kind because you could be entertaining an angel.
I agree. And also, you don't know what hell people are going through in their minds. So if someone's a bit off with you, you just don't know what's going on in their mind.
No.
They could be
or their life.
Inner demons. Yes.
Do you find sometimes, I don't know if you both, and obviously Chris, you go for walks. I don't know if you, Matilda, go for walks and stuff. Do you find sometimes you can go out and I went for a walk on Sunday. I'll do about 6 miles there or thereabouts. And some days you go out and you'll pass people and everyone will speak and everyone will acknowledge or smile or whatever. And other times you go out and you either don't pass anybody at all or very few people, or if you do pass them, they don't see you or they don't acknowledge. They can't. It's as though they can't see. So
they look right through you. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're like what do they call them? The non-player characters, NPCs.
Yeah.
So they're just not there.
Oh, you're right. They're not looking at the sky and things like. I've often said. Now we used to have, the Canada geese. In a couple of weeks' time, was it sort of late autumn? They would fly in from the Arctic, and they'd fly down, and we used to get swarms and swarms of Canada geese, all in V formations. Do you remember them? Seen them?
Yes. Yeah. I've seen them.
Yeah. Well, in the last couple of years, I didn't see any for 2 years running, and last year I just saw one V formation. That was it. What's happened to them? They just disappeared.
I've seen a couple.
Yeah, but it used to be like clouds. It used to almost block the sun out with them. But there's
like
less now.
It's like that with starlings as well. And again, this is something I've heard a number of times that birds are into, what's it called, interdimensional beings. And where I live here, I'll chuck cheese out sometimes for the crows.
Mm-hmm.
And some mornings or some days you get up and there'll be like 3 or 4 crows in one of the trees and pigeons everywhere. And then the next day you get up at exactly the same time and they're nowhere to be seen. None of them. There's not a bird anywhere to be seen. And then a few days later, they'll all be back again. It's as though they've vanished and then they come back and then they vanish and they come back. And I see that quite a lot. I see that a hell of a lot.
Are you standing naked in the window, Paul?
No, they'd be laughing at me if I was doing that.
No. I'll tell you what I do get.
Pigeon might come down. I think it was a little worm there, look.
Well, the pigeon that I feed, if I'm a bit late, he's sort of sitting there with the attitude of, got a nice car out there, and I'm just saying, like, pigeon shit down the paintwork wouldn't do too nicely down it, would it? So if you're late again, I just mention, just saying, like, and because he has his mates around him as well sometimes, a sort of pigeon mafia. They're all, but actually, I've got a good deal going with them. I feed them and they go and shit over my neighbour's car who I don't like. But now, some Hachi has said St Michael's Mount in Cornwall is supposed to be full of ley lines. Yeah, and Glastonbury as well. I think they go through there as well. But
Yeah,
again,
the
there's energy
tour
lines,
there.
energy lines and ley lines are two different things there. Now, DJ B2 says the local church has metal bars over on the outside on the stained glass. It's weird.
Oh,
Is that to
I-
stop vandalism?
well, it's
stop
all
people
looks-
breaking out. Either stop them breaking out or breaking in. It's one or the other, isn't it?
Well, don't they reckon that the stained glass, the glass is actually a new addition anyway, and it breaks. The glass was put there by the controllers to break up the system that was there, the healing system, because glass obviously doesn't conduct electricity, but with
No,
the
but it
system,
allows
glass
the
was put in
sunlight
place.
through, doesn't it?
yes, and it's
But does
beautiful
it
when you
though?
see. Yeah.
Mm.
Because
Oh yeah.
in the respect of, so if you look at a lot of churches or cathedrals, they have what they call a cathode on the outside of it, so looks like a flower, which would have been used to produce energy. But by putting the glass into that, obviously that would have had sunlight coming straight through it without it being blocked off by glass. But once they put the glass in place, it stops it doing what it's supposed to do, which is producing energy for us and
Yeah.
healing us.
Because I don't think years ago, I'm not sure, and I could be talking about my backside on this one. So someone in chat, please correct me. But years ago, you used to have bottle glass because they couldn't really do flat planes. And I think that coloured glass is relatively only been around about 150, 200 years. Hasn't been around that long
Wow.
with stained glass, I think. So, please don't hold me on
That's
that one. I think because when you look at the old pubs and inns of the 18th century, they all had bottle glass, because glass blowers actually blew it and they sort of made a kind of square out of it. But no, you don't get bottle glass now, obviously. Now, so Aunt Sully's in chat and she said, "Are you in the bath, Aunt Sully? You normally are." Evening, folks. Just got home. Been out to Din Din's with my daughter's birthday bash. Happy birthday to your daughter. Isn't that nice? And I hope
Yay.
you brought her one of your macaroons and your mousse things made from avocados. Aunt Sally,
Din-dins.
I don't know what Din Din's, but as I say, I've made avocado mousse and it tastes like crap. So it's a sort of one of these things that you put it down, you just can't get yourself to lift it up again. Yeah, they could do. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, but now what we got here? Now, Up Punk Planet said Matilda told her angel story, Aunt Sally. So you've got to wind it back, you see. Oh, you hear all the naughty things we've been talking about Aunt Sally about, haven't we? Oh dear.
Yeah, don't go back to what an hour ago.
Well, on that note, Eric and Paul, I'm going to love you and leave you
Well, we're
because I want to listen.
anyway.
Oh, are you? Okay.
going-
Shall I hang?
close it down
Shall I wait?
Well, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Matilda.
Just I
for coming on.
I can't see the chat room, and I like to chat in the chat room, as you know.
It should be on the right side of your screen.
Oh,
right now.
I can't read that. It's far too tiny. I have to get my magnifying glass out.
It's been
microscope.
fantastic. It's been a great surprise having you on the show. Please come on again.
Oh, it's been lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you,
We
Paul.
need a Ponty title now as part of Fockham Hall.
Yes,
Yay.
yes. Oh, by the way, you need to have a Ponzi title. Everybody in Fockham is a Ponzi title.
Can I just be called that Ponty title?
You could be called Ponzi title. Why not? Well, mate, happy for everyone. Well, thank you. As I say, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Matilda. I believe Paul. I'll maybe on Paul's show this Thursday, 8:00. Paul English Live on Rumble and at Food for Thought Radio as well, and YouTube and a host of other platforms. I'll be back next Sunday, 8:00, same time, same place. And please remember to subscribe, put a thumbs up, it does help. And whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh. And by the way, another thing I forgot to mention, I've had a lot of emails. If you sent me an email and you haven't had a reply yet, it's because I'm a lazy bastard and I haven't replied.
You can't be arsed.
I've been a bit, I'm up to my neck in it. So I'll get back. But I believe he replied to everybody's email. So you'll get a reply. Don't worry. And whatever happens, have a bloody